What is up? Welcome to the SWEATBOX. I am your host, Rex Byers. Twitch TV, YouTube. Thanks for checking me out. Monday Night Football, Week 14. Philadelphia is in Los Angeles to face the Chargers. Eagles were as high as 2.5 earlier today at several spots. The game has now crashed down to 1. I presume that was because they made it official that Herbert was going to be active, but I don't really know how the Eagles were even laying that much to begin with. I actually made the game pick, or Chargers won. 42, pretty much the consensus total at this point, right at post. Some movement towards the under. Should be a fascinating matchup, certainly. Two teams that have both won 8 games this year, both seem headed for the playoffs. Big game for the Chargers tonight. If they can win this one, they have a trip to Kansas City next week to really bury the Chiefs. Even a win tonight, even a loss next week wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but anything tonight for them that would get them set up for next Sunday's game there would obviously be a positive result. Philadelphia coming off a Friday loss to the Bears, so they have a little bit of extra rest. Lost by 9 at home as a 7-point favorite. The Chargers last week beat the Raiders 31-14 in this building. They do play 3 of their last 4 on the road, at KC, at Dallas, Houston at home, at Denver. Eagles go Vegas at home, at Washington, at Buffalo, Washington at home to end their season. So, yeah, the Eagles are in the midst of starting a stretch of 3 games on the road out of 4 before hosting Washington to end the season. Circus bounced the total back to 42.5 after a brief trip to 42 for no more than a minute or so. Everybody else offshore and in town, for the most part, has 42 flat. Bet war at 42 under 17 is the lowest that I see from someone that's going to take a bet. Bet online, best available to the under. 42 over 13, they're 1 cent better than Pinnacle. Well, other than the Circa 42.5, obviously, if you're offshore or don't have a Circa account. So, here's where we stand. It's an ABC game. I believe ESPN2 has the call as well. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. I'd rather watch that. The problem is there's a delay, so I don't get to watch that because I'm going to definitely watch ABC. I actually don't have a problem. Buck and Aikman have been great this year, times that I've actually watched and listened to them. Tonight will be one of those cases. I'll have the volume on, but not so loud that it'll take away my ability to talk to you guys and get back to me. And also the other thing, with it being on ABC, again, those who haven't seen me before, I do have an antenna on 2 of my 9 TVs. So any of the games that are on an antenna feed, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Telemundo, Unimas, CW, those games I'll always be ahead of you guys, and unless you're watching on the antenna yourself. And I'll be ahead of most everybody else. So certainly be in position to give out live bets tonight, much better than I would be if the game were on Fox Sports 1 or something like that. So something to keep in mind as we try to gravitate towards some plays. Saturday, for those of you who are with me, was a good day for live and halftimes 4-0. And Sunday, my personal plays were some really ugly dogs. Buccaneers were one that lost, a favorite. But also the Titans, the Raiders, who a miracle backdoor there, and the Cardinals, who got ran off the field. So ugly sides end up 2-2, and then the halftime stuff 0-4-1. 3 unders in the late games. All 3 of them lost. I take it back. 2 of them lost. 1 of them pushed. That was the Raiders, the field goal at the buzzer that changed the whole game around from Denver and under to Raiders and over to the point spread and total. Fiasco, but it was the right play. I mean, they trying to keep a second or 2 on the clock. It's what you're supposed to do. But the Broncos committing that penalty, the clock was going to run out. I mean, it never would have happened. So all they had to do was just not. All they had to do was just do nothing. Like once they made the tackle, just don't lay on the ball or kick the ball or do anything to stop the clock. Fascinating how people can bet on this shit, and that's what happens. Herbert did break his hand last week and had surgery on his left. It's his left, not his throwing hand. He had surgery on Monday. They're showing him on the pregame show taking snaps under center. I don't think that they'll be doing a whole lot of that, but I could be wrong. I would think that most of the offense will be predicated in the gun today for the Chargers. Another thing to think about, Omarion Hampton back from a long-term injury. I thought he was maybe not even going to come back this year. So fascinating spot there. I actually, in a player prop, I think that over 2.5 catches at plus money for him would be a good bet. They were really starting to target him before he got injured in the passing game. I think he caught like 17 passes in the last 2 or 3 games before the injury. So Hampton would be something that I would target pregame in a player prop. I don't love the game. In the William Hill contest that I have 5 entries. One of them, I have winners in every game except for Tampa Bay, the Bears, and Bears under yesterday. Everything else I have a ticket that's got, whatever the rest of them, how many games? There's 15, so 11-3. I don't think that 12-3, even if the Chargers win tonight, which is who I picked in the contest on 4 of the 5 entries, I don't think 12-3 is going to be good enough to cash anything, but it's not like last week where I went 13-2 and knew I didn't have a chance. 14-1, there were 10 people that tied at 14-1. It was just all chalk after the Thanksgiving and Friday games. The Sunday games were all chalk. This week, there were some dogs. Obviously, New Orleans winning outright. Tennessee winning outright. Texans winning outright. That game staying under last night, which is what I had as well. There was kind of a correlation. A couple of the contests. I think I had 2 Kansas City and over, two Texas and under, and then maybe another Kansas City and under. But, yeah, so nobody cares about that. But anyways, I just thought I'd bring it up. My only investments, so to speak, or my root pregame, I'll root for the Chargers just because what if 11-3 ties with 200 people and I make $50 bucks? They have to chop 10,000 up somehow. Looks like most of this money here late coming on the Chargers again. Bet war down to -1 plus 0.1, which is actually you have a better bet. You would be better off taking Philly -1 plus 0.1. That's the best available. That's actually not even the same as even money. That's the Chargers the favorite. That half point's not worth. I mean, the game can fall in a tie, but that half point's not worth 11 cents. Uh, 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time. Kickoff at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 on the West Coast, and here in Vegas where I am. So kickoff in about 8 minutes. I'll make sure I have the coin toss for you. We can go through that as well. Trying to get you set up. Feel free to chat me here. I have my YouTube chat and my Twitch chat are on Streamlabs desktop fired up, and we'll certainly try to respond to any questions in a timely manner or any inquiries. If anybody wants to talk about next week's schedule, the Bowls, the college football playoff, I could probably opine about some of that a little bit later on as well. NFL scores from yesterday. The Steelers beat the Ravens 27-22. They now take control in the AFC North. They will be they are the favorite to win the division now, -170, give or take, at some places on the updated prices to win their division. So let's see if the Ravens can recover. Disappointing home loss there. They do get the Steelers again at the end of the season. And I think the way the permutations work out with division games and stuff, that if the Ravens, if all things are equal the rest of the way, the Ravens will, if they win that game, will win all the tiebreakers that involve them in Pittsburgh. So Ravens still control their fate, but they have to start winning some games. Third splash broad. Did you play anything tonight? Hampton over receptions is the only thing pregame. Don't love it. It's pregame. I have the Chargers in my William Hill contest. I think the Chargers will win the game. I made the Chargers like a 1.5 point favorite. Depending on the health of Herbert, obviously. I just don't see it coming together for the Eagles this year. I just don't see it. Now that being said, the Eagles will have the crowd. There'll be probably 65-35 Philly fans in that building. Those people are nuts. Thinking about laying big numbers with Ole Miss and Oregon. I don't agree with either one of those. Ole Miss, I'm certainly not worried about the coach. They love that guy. They'll come together and they'll play hard for him. The fact that they handled Tulane so easily earlier this year gives me pause for the cause there. I think the Tulane, everybody's bought in. They know the coach is leaving, but they bought in. They won their conference. They looked really impressive in doing so. I made the game like 13 and a half, and certainly at 17 would only be a take for me in that game, and could never have the favorite. I'm not saying they can't blow them out again. They could. I just could never lay that many points. Oregon, let's see, James Madison. I made 18. I see there's 22 out there at Paradise Wager, a lot of 21s. I don't have a strong opinion there. I could see Oregon beating them really bad, but let's all remember, everybody's up in arms about Notre Dame not getting in, and all these. You got two group of 5 teams and this, that, and other. Last year, the final margin in the first week's games they were all blowouts. So like it's not like that just because they're putting these 2 teams in means they're not going to be competitive. Just because the point spreads are this high doesn't mean that the margins have to be. I mean, last year we had 4 games where the lines were relatively modest on most of them. And, I think IU was the biggest underdog against Notre Dame, and they ended up playing to the point spread the closest game of all. I think they were catching 7, and they lost by 10. Anthem time, usually try to stand up for it, but because we're streaming, I'm going to make myself an exception tonight. Just know that in spirit, I am standing up for this. Nutsa is her name. Let's see what else is going on. Let's go through some scores. I was going to try to go through the rest of the NFL yesterday. Yeah, Seahawks 37-9 at Atlanta. That game went over the total somehow, 6-6 at halftime. Seattle ran the second half kickoff back for a touchdown, and that was that. Titans beat Cleveland 31-29. Shedeur Sanders threw for a jillion yards as the Browns were trailing the whole way and having to take shots to get back in it. Went for 2 a couple times on late touchdowns to cut the lead from 14-8, but missed, and then again from 8-2, and then missed again. Tennessee holds on to win their second game of the year. Minnesota and the Jets, Miami and the Jets, 34-10. The Dolphins roll in the Meadowlands. About as bad of an effort as the Jets have given all year. Their only touchdown came on a kickoff return, a punt return in the, I believe, the second quarter. Saints winning in Tampa Bay, probably as surprising as a result as I saw this weekend, or coming before. Certainly, I'm very anti-Tyler Shuff, which I've said before 100 times. Obviously, playing on a field like that yesterday was a total quagmire, and he knew where he was cut before the defenders did. And he had a big, long touchdown run that was a great design, as well as another scramble. I couldn't handicap him scoring 2 touchdowns. I'd give you 100-1 on that. So, it is what it is. 24-20, the Saints win it. I will not hesitate to bet against them again. It was just kind of a freak gong show type one-off deal. But I really have to question how good the Bucs are. I mean, those are games, if you're serious about winning your division and going to the playoffs, you don't lose the home games to teams like the Saints. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 36-19 over the Colts. All kinds of problems for the Colts at the quarterback position. Daniel Jones had a broken fibula before the game started. He ended up tearing his Achilles on the other side. He'll be out all the way until next year. Don't know whether he'll be back even for the start of next season or not. Riley Leonard, the backup from Duke and Notre Dame, played okay, I guess, when he filled in, but he also got injured late in the game and is apparently not going to be able to go this weekend. Colts are now bringing in Felipe Rios, i.e. Phil Rivers, in for a tryout. His last season was 2020. Yes, 5 years ago he retired after the COVID year. The Colts made the playoffs. They got beat in the wild card. That was the end of his career, or so we all thought. He is actually already a grandfather, so if he comes back into the league, his grandson will be able to say that he watched Phillip Rivers play quarterback for a team that is in playoff position. Fascinating stuff. Jags 36-19. They were very impressive. The officials didn't give the Colts a whole lot of breaks yesterday. Everything went against them. There was a 4th and 1 that the Jags got where the whistle should have been blown. Lawrence's progress was stopped. There was an interception with simultaneous possession that should always go to the offense. They gave it to the Jags. There was another 4th down that the Jags got late on a suspect spot. There was a touchdown the Colts threw that was called off because of an offensive pass interference, which was a terrible call. There was hardly any contact. Just a barrage of things that went against them, in addition to Jacksonville playing well. Nothing accidental about the win. The score was a little bit misleading, given the fact that the Colts, as bad as things went for them, they were still in position to be competitive. The defense just couldn't get any stops, especially Well, at all. It didn't matter. There wasn't any especially nothing. The Vikings beat the Redskins 31-0. J.J. McCarthy, his best game in a while. After the Vikings were shut out last week themselves, they put an ass beating on somebody else this time. Redskins' playoff hopes are all but gone. I'm curious to see how they handle Daniels. He got hurt again yesterday. Don't know if he was injured or hurt. Remember, there's a difference. For those of you who have not explained this too well enough yet. Buffalo 39-34 over the Bengals. High-scoring game there. Joe Burrow, 2 costly interceptions on back-to-back plays to hurt the Bengals' chances there. Denver 24-17 over the Raiders. Out here, again, we talked about that at the top of the broadcast. The field goal at the buzzer to turn it from Denver and under to Raiders and over. So that's that. You got Packers 28-21 over the Bears. They'll play again in a couple weeks down in Chicago. Packers back in position to lead the NFC North now. Bears go from the 1st seed to the 7th. Kickoff is nigh here in L.A. The Chargers do kick it to the Eagles. Eagles wearing white on white. Chargers powder blue on powder blue. Other 2 scores yesterday, Rams 45-17, crushed Arizona. I got that one wrong. And Texans 20-10 over the Chiefs. Kansas City can't get it out of neutral. We'll discuss them a little bit more as the night goes on, given the fact that they play the Chargers next week at Arrowhead. There are 3 NBA games. All of them are underway. One of them is at halftime. There are only 6 college basketball games tonight, looks like. And looks like they're all shit games, actually. I don't think any of them are on the main board. And 5 hockey games. And the hockey games, none of them, only one of them's going on now. The rest of them are all later. Hurts is taking a shot on the first play, way downfield. Oh, A.J. Brown right through his hands. I think he should have caught it. So it wasn't supposed to be that. He ran like a little dig, and then once it wasn't there, but he had time, he just sprinted down the field, took a shot. Incomplete. 12 seconds in. Closing line in this game: Philadelphia 1-point favorite at the end. Total 42. Pretty much consensus. The Philly drive did start at the 33. Barkley, at this first carry of the night, bangs his way up for about 1. So we're underway. 8-4 teams doing battle here against the number this year. Philly 7-5, and the Chargers are 5-6. Both teams are averaging 23 and giving up 21. About as even on paper as you could hope for. 3rd and 9 for the Eagles. Gun, Barkley offset to Hurts' right, 2 receivers to each side. 4-man rush, throws it complete. It's Goddard, and he's going to have enough for a first down. Give him exactly 9, maybe 10. Good read by Hurts. He was open. He threw it before the linebacker could get to him. Here's a draw out of the gun to Barkley. He gets maybe 2 out to the 45. 90 seconds in, 2nd and 8. I'll keep you posted, obviously, on live stuff. Never going to do anything as the game is being played. But as we get towards commercials and stuff, I'll certainly keep you posted on the lines and any thoughts about plays, whatever. Remember, I've told you this for the new audience. I have 2 of my 9 TVs have antennas, and one of them has ABC, obviously, tonight. Therefore, I have a faster feed than everybody except if you have an antenna. This catch is made by Dotson on the outside. It's going to be about 6 there. So it'll be maybe 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Right near midfield. Hurts out of the gun again. This is a motion right now, so the backfield's empty. It's actually closer to 4 for the first down at the 49 of Philly. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Back. Looking. Got him. 98. Always, 5th of the year. Oops. Just didn't work out. They beat Mailata off the line, and he went behind him, and when Hurts bailed, he ran almost right into him without knowing it. Eagles will punt it from their own 40. It's a pretty good one, actually. Too good. Touchback. 11:38 to go in the first. They're going to take a TV timeout before they start. Herbert takes over. 11:38 to go in the first. No score. We got Philly 0 and the Clippers coming to bat. Sorry, I'll keep calling them that. I can't help it. The way that they list them is LAC since they moved from San Diego. And every time I see LAC, it just reminds me of LA Clippers. So I always call them the Clippers. Anyways, and it also works because the Chargers are second fiddle in town. The Rams are the equivalency to the Lakers. The Chargers are the equivalency to the Clippers. And then also it works because SoFi Stadium is a walking distance away from where the Clippers now play, the Intuit Dome. They're both very close to one of them is actually on the site of the old Hollywood Park racetrack and casino. Chargers are favored. I agree with it. 1 minus money up to 2. There's 1, 1.5, and 2 all out there. Totals between 39.5 and 40. No opinion on the total. Obviously not worth playing anything yet until I can get a feel with what's going to happen. Chargers on offense. I think that the Chargers are right going in. Nothing I've seen so far. Matter of fact, I really don't. I see Philadelphia struggling to score here, and it's a continuation of the offensive struggles that they've had. I'm just going to go back and look. 15, 21, 16, and 10 in their last 4 games on offense, and they've actually lost 2 straight. They beat Green Bay and Detroit, 10-7 and 16-9, but the losses in Dallas and then to Chicago last week, again, 21 and 15 points. And you only scored 21 against Dallas. I mean, there's issues. And I know that Cowboys' defense is better now than what it was in September. 39.5, 40, and 40.5 are all out there with varying juices. The average price, 1.5 and 40 on the Chargers. Again, no opinion. 3 NBA games. Indiana leads Sacramento 66-51 at the break. Sacramento 3 and 113 in Indianapolis in the second half. Phoenix leads Minnesota by 6 late in the second. I'll come with the halftime there when it goes in. Same thing with San Antonio and New Orleans. 16-14 midway through the first in New Orleans. Are there any college games where the line's not ridiculous? Yeah, Kansas State's laying 31 to Mississippi Valley. And it opened and then it closed 38, 38.5, 39. Remember, Mississippi Valley was involved in some of the shenanigans with the point spread last year. And they are the worst team in the country. First play from the 20 is about a 4-yard gain. I think they gave it to Hampton, but I didn't see. My favorite play tonight, for those who missed it before, somebody asked me what my play was tonight. I Hampton over 2.5 catches was the prop that stood out to me most. He was a big part of their offense as a receiver. If he's actually healthy and going to get a full dosage tonight, I think he'll catch some passes. Herbert's throw is incomplete. Kind of telegraphed it. Jackson jumped it, and it's going to be third and a long 6. Hampton's first game since week 5, fractured ankle. I've had one of those before. It's not fun. There's a hell of a story behind that, actually. Herbert dumps it off to his back. It's caught, first down, now to the 30, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, all the way down inside the 20. Vidal was the safety valve there. Once Herbert saw him and hit him, that was it. There's no one home. 60-yard catch. So he blocks and then he releases. Oh, yeah. Once he outran that 17, forget about it. That Vidal, he's built like a shit brick house. He's real, not tall, but just huge. Built it's like a square. Hampton off the toss. Big gain inside the 10. Probably a first down. It's going to be really close to first and goal. If not, I think they gave him 11. First down. Clock moves inside of 10 minutes in the first quarter. Boy, they might kick the shit out of this team. I mean, that's. They literally just tossed it to him, and there was just. He could have. He looked great. Trips right here for Herbert. Here comes motion left. Play fake. Now the gives to the back. Hampton gets it again. Give him maybe 2. I guess he's going to resume full duties, and Vidal's going to be the third down back. Second and goal at the 4. Clock moves inside of 9 minutes. Trips right again this time. One to the left, backs offset to the right in the gun. Looks right, throws it to my guy Hampton, catches it, touchdown. It's exactly what we need, baby. Great start all the way around. The clapping was more for the Hampton catch for my one prop tonight than it was for anything else. 8:49 to go in the first. 6-0, point pending. That was pretty much a pick by Allen. Fairly impossible to stop that play if they're not going to call it. 6 plays, 80 yards, 2:49 at the clock. And the Chargers, on their first drive, have found the end zone. They lead 7-0. 3.5, that's too low. Anything less than 4 is a lay. Hang on here. Let's get to work. Yeah, 3.5. Let's lay it. Chargers minus 3.5. Medium play, 2 units, 3.5 flat. Or better. Good. Let's fire it in the chat here for everybody to get a peek at it as well. All right. So, here we go. I don't want to be the prisoner of the moment and overreact to anything, but that was way too easy for the Chargers. It looked like Philadelphia seemed almost disinterested after the 60-yard pass play. And, Philly had a 3rd and 9 that they converted on their first drive, and then they got stopped after that. So really only one Only one, we had one 9-yard play, and that was it. Nothing really of success. Chargers seem to have a better of it up front on both sides as well, which is something that I thought might happen, but I just got enough confirmation. The left tackle for Philly, Lane Johnson's not playing tonight. That's another issue, as he's great. Been great for a long time. Yeah, nothing I've seen so far surprises me. And it's not. It sucks that you have to wait to see a drive to confirm it, but I still think laying 3.5 is a good bet here. And now I got a rooting interest. So now it's Omarion Hampton over 2.5 catches and Chargers minus 3.5. Live total is 45.5. There is some 45 as well. No opinion there. This one will be a touchback. Third down conversions are 28th, the Eagles are this year, but the biggest key to that is that they're facing the second longest third downs in the league. Only Cleveland has faced longer third down conversions than the Eagles, and that's the reason why they haven't been able to run that brotherly shove so much, because they haven't been in the proper down and distance to do it. Barkley's the one back out of the it was like a 13 formation. They give it to him. It's a big gain here, 10, 15. Almost a 20-yard carry out to 45. Yeah, the touchbacks you start at the 35. I forgot. So they're already into San Diego territory. To the 40, the 46. Barkley also the one back again on this play behind Hurts. 3 to the right. They give it to Barkley again off left tackle. He gets it to the 40, the 35. First down Eagles. Gain of about 11. 2 plays to the left side with some success on both of them. Brown's a really good blocker. Gunn this time trips right. Hurts is rolling right. He beats. God, he's fast. Three for the Chargers is pretty fast, and he outran him. Scott Novak, the ref tonight, 7th season. Holding on the Eagles. Right guard. Kind of a senseless hold. That penalty had nothing to do with what was going to happen on the play. The Eagles back up now. Clock inside of 7.5 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 20 for the Eagles now. Back to the 47. Motion left from Smith. Play fake. Hurts is going to take a shot. Going for it all. It's to Smith. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage. Really not much of a chance for anybody to catch it. Second and 20. Barkley gets it on the delay. Gets it down inside the 40. Be 3rd and long, but they're at least now into field goal range most likely. In the indoors, I think Elliott's range is probably good to 55. Third and maybe 11 here, maybe 12. Clock moving inside of 6.5 in the first quarter. Chargers 7-0. 3rd and 12 for Philly at the Chargers 38. Hurts is by himself in the gun. Slant, got it, first down, caught it, complete. Good read, good execution. Huge first down for the Eagles. That's Stelly right. He had to beat his guy off the line. The middle was wide open. It looks like it might have been an option route. So, huge first down for the Eagles there. Barkley motions back into the backfield. He'll be offset to Hurts' right. Now he motions left, trips left. Hurts keeps it. I think that's a design draw. He's going to lose a yard. Clock's going to move inside of 5 minutes before the next snap. 7-0 Chargers. Big first down by Philly after going back to what was 2nd and 20. Hurts again by himself in the gun. Trips right with some motion from Smith. 2 to the left. Hurts rolls, moves, pointing. He's going to run it. Going to get about 3, and he goes out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and maybe 8. Once again, the Eagles put themselves into an unenviable position on 3rd down. Clock's moving now down inside of 4:15 to go in the quarter. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Trips left, 2 to the right. Hurts by himself in the backfield again. One thing I don't like about that is they know you're going to throw. I mean, you know you're going to throw too, but here's out to Smith. He catches it, nothing doing. They were looking to try to get it to him and let him make a play, have some blockers out there, but nothing happening. I think he might have lost a yard or 2. Call it no gain. Going to be a 50-plus yard field goal, or 42-yard field goal attempt. Elliott, left hash, snap down up, good. 7-3. Chargers lead it. I'm guessing the line will come right what it did before the last possession. Yeah, 3.5, 44.5. Pretty simple. Hurts either throws it to his first read or holds it too long. Mid-major Matt on Twitter, Eagles fan. Yeah, not much variance here. Buckeye has a 45.5 on the live total. Everybody else 44.5 that I see so far. Thanks for checking me out here tonight. 3:22 in the first quarter, Chargers 7, Philly 3. My name is Rex Byers. I am your host on YouTube TV, Twitch TV, here on the Sweatbox. The only hockey game in progress right now, Toronto leads Tampa Bay 1-0 at the end of one. Other games going about the next half hour, Buffalo at Calgary, and the Kings are in Utah. This is a Malinsky special for Utah. They've played 6 in a row on the road, first game back home. Kings the right side there based on the Malinsky information. Basically, you can get a pick 'em. Yeah, they were plus money earlier today. There's been steam on the Kings, probably for the same information that I just told you about. Calgary Buffalo also very close to a pick. Total in those games 6 over, 15 in the Buffalo Calgary game, and 5.5 under, 5.5 under 15 in LA Utah for the most part. The other two games go at 10:07 Eastern. Detroit Vancouver. The Red Wings are laying 20-ish on the road, 6.5 under 15. The most prevalent total, I guess, the mean number. Minnesota Seattle. The Wilds are laying between 28 and 40, depending on where you shop. 5.5 under 15 and under are the totals. Nothing of note in the college hoops. I'll keep you posted if anything stands out or something happens that requires me to give you a score. But most of these games involving, they're all on the added or the extra board. Oh, the Inglewood Forum, right next to SoFi Stadium as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. Home of the Lakers back in their heyday. Well, the 80s heyday, I guess. Kickoff return is out past the 30. It's Vidal again to the 34. 3:17 to go in the first. They'll start at the 34. Motion right from the H-back. Play fake. Gets rid of it. That's a good job. He was trying to take a shot. Hampton. That's Hampton again. All right. 2 catches. The good news is that he missed his block. He missed the block and therefore allowed him to make the catch. I think that was his assignment. Let me see. No, play fake. It was. He never was supposed to block. The number 90 just steamrolled 73. Davis just smashed him. Herbert wanted to take a shot there. That worked out great for me. Good job, 73. 2 catches. One more, Hampton. Motion left here. Here's the give to Hampton. He's swallowed up. 90's wrecking the whole fucking game. They didn't get a first down in that first play. It was 2nd and short, and they actually lost yardage there. Go back to like 3rd and 6 now. I mean, he just smashed this fucking guy. They didn't touch that. The blocking scheme was way too complex there for that play. You didn't need to do all that. Go straight ahead. Get your first down. Eagles now, they show maybe a blitz. They only got 4 now. They're going to bring somebody up. There's a flag here, it looks like. It actually got loud in the building. I told you there's probably more Philly fans than Chargers to begin with. It's kind of crazy you have to give silent counts at home. Here we go at the 32, 3rd and 12. Clock moving inside of 100 seconds. Might be an offsides. Yeah, it's a free play. 51 was in the neutral zone. Intercepted. Pass to McConkey. It's picked off by 33 to Jean. He's tackled, but it's going to come back. 3rd and 7. 1:26 left in the quarter. Interception for Herbert gets wiped off. Yeah, I needed to throw it a little higher. Yeah, he was open. Third and 7 at the 37. Vidal in motion left. It's trips that way now. The backfield is empty. 2 to the right. Herbert gets it. Here comes a blitz. He got there. 17, the blitzer comes in over the middle. They haven't. Okay. Herbert throws it incomplete. Dean. Yeah, right through the middle. No one touched him. 4th and 7. And the Eagles are going to force a punt. Yeah, the center guessed wrong. He went left to go help double there, and Dean came from off the center's right. There's a punt. 53-yarder, fair caught at the 10. 1:10 to go in the first. 7-3 Chargers. Probably going to come back 3 here. Maybe 42.5, 42. Hang tight. Three dog money. 42.5. There is a 43 out there as well. No opinion. Okay, what else is going on? We got one halftime in the NBA. 61-57. Phoenix leads the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Wolves 7.5 and 110. Second half price. Did I go through everything there yesterday? Yeah. One thing I was going to do was, and I forgot, was pull up all the standings and the odds to win the divisions. Certainly the playoff market will straighten itself out. Tonight's game, obviously, with both teams at 8-4, it's a big deal. And not only the NFC East and the AFC West, but also just for the playoff odds in general, as this game will have a domino effect in both conferences. It's a good one, though. Certainly well scheduled. There was a flex today in the NFL, Week 16. They moved the Bengals out. I forgot who they were playing. Maybe the Dolphins. And that game's out. In its place comes Ravens and Patriots. Another good move on their part. Good flex. Wish they'd use the flex option more often, but unfortunately some of these teams get stuck in there and they're just never going to get them out. You got a game like the Cowboys and the Giants. That game should never be played in prime time at this point, given the Giants' struggles. But they just won't move the Cowboys no matter what. Loss of 1 on the first play. Have it at their own 9 now, 2nd and 11. Barkley has lost yardage on 15% of his carries, second highest in the league. That for someone of his skill set, that is completely in their offensive line's ability. That's completely unacceptable. Trips right here this time. Barkley's out with him. 2 to the left. Backfield's empty for Hurts. A little bit of motion from Smith. Get a little bit of a free run. He's the one that catches it off the line. Complete for about 5. Clock does stop momentarily. He did go out of bounds. Eagles will have an option here to let the clock run out if they want to. See how fast they go here, whether they line up and want to see what the Chargers look like. No, they're huddling up. That's going to do it. Into the first quarter at SoFi. San Diego, LA, whatever, 7, and Philadelphia 3. Live price probably won't change much. 3.43. $8.50 Eastern, $5.50 on the West Coast. My name is Rex Byers. Welcome into the Sweatbox, YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Thanks for checking me out. I appreciate you. Tell a friend. Hit that like button. Certainly, I guess it would be the bell icon to subscribe on YouTube. It's free. Why not? Twitch, be sure to follow me. It's also free. Help me make others be aware of what's going on, be able to see when I'm putting something on here. Gather a little bit of a crowd. The whole goal is to get a community in here. And, obviously in a perfect world, on days like Saturdays when there's 12 college games going on at the same time, someone can, obviously I only have 9 TVs, someone can tell me what's going on in some of the games I'm not watching. Somebody can keep me posted on interviews. Keep not just me, but, not interviews, injuries. Not just me, but tell the community, and we'll adjust accordingly based on what's happening. Give me a chance to dig into it as well, something I'm not paying attention to. I think it'll really come in handy in college basketball. For 22 games are going on at the same time on a Wednesday night, and there's an injury in the first half that no one knows about to an important player. Hey, that's good stuff for halftime information. Certainly if you're not going to be able to bet the live, or your book doesn't book live basketball for any kind of limits or at all, then you can still get second half bets. So, that's the community doing its job to help each other, and I'm trying to be the quarterback to be here to facilitate it. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. How about this one? The Premier League have banned a knee slide celebration from January the 1st. Performing the act will be a yellow card offense. The decision aims to safeguard players from potential injuries such as turf burns or joint strains. No fun. No fun allowed. I was watching the World Cup highlights from, I want to say it was the year Senegal beat France, 2002 maybe. I'm trying to think if this is the right game. No, I tell you what, it was somebody, Ivory Coast or somebody beat Brazil 4 or 8 years ago in the group stage, or maybe they tied them. Anyways, they scored a goal in extra time, and the guy was on a yellow, and he took his shirt off, and the ref went over and he's like, that's a hell of a goal, man, but here's the second yellow, you're out. And they had to play the last 7 or 8 minutes in stoppage time without the guy, 11-on-10, and against Brazil they end up tying. That ball is thrown by Hurts and picked off. Minkins picks it inside the 20. He threw it to Smith, and he threw it nowhere near. I shouldn't say that. It's a factually incorrect statement. He threw it near Smith, but not to him. Let's see if it's caught. I can't tell. It looks like it hit the ground. Oh, I don't know. I thought for sure it hit the ground from that angle, and the other one I don't know. Yeah, they're going to take this away. Yeah, they're going to take this away. First play of the second quarter. It's going to be turned. It's going to be switched around, but the Eagles will still have to punt it. The longer they're taking, that's just going to be everything to fix the clock and everything else. Clock says 14:48. They're going to have to put a few seconds back on the clock, I think. Eagles will punt it. So it wasn't Smith, it was Dotson was the inside receiver there. Davis back to return man's punt from the 15. Back to the 32. Takes it to the outside. He's running the wrong way, and he doesn't have enough speed to get away. Going to lose 10 on the return. All the way back to the 22. He did fumble at the end, but they're going to rule him down. This is a 53-yard punt with a minus 10 return, 63 net. The Eagles have done a good job of flipping the field here. I think the line will probably be close to the same after that punt. It pretty much flipped the field. The total may be a little lower, but not much. They only ran 2 minutes off the clock. Hang tight for a live price. Waiting for a market to develop. Live price 3.5 flat. There is some 3.5 dog money out there. Total 41.5 is the closest price of the mean. Pinnacle has 42.5 under. Spurs 68-48 in New Orleans. Lead late in the second quarter. I'll give you a halftime when that one comes up. The other two NBA games are both into the third quarter. The college games, there's 4 of them at the half. None of them are remotely worth discussing. One thing I guess is worth mentioning, New Orleans has a new coach, and they went out and beat TCU in the season opener on the road, catching like 23. They've had a pretty decent start to their season. New Orleans, I think, was all but left for dead. I want to say that they went from Division III to either disbanding the program, or no, they went from Division I to Division III, and then they went back up in the last few years. But I mean, that's like a death sentence to yourself. Trying to basically hit the reset button. 14:42 to go in the first half. 7-3 Chargers. It's a toss to Hampton. Catches it, goes back to his left. It's a first down, maybe about 14 there. Play was designed to go off right guard or right tackle, and he cut it back as soon as he didn't get to the line of scrimmage before he'd already cut it back. Good work by the sideline chick on ESPN talking about Herbert's hand. It's a toss to Hampton again to the left. This time they string him out and they get him out of bounds before he gets anything going. Call it a yard. There is a flag. They didn't even cheat right. 68 for the Chargers, call for a hold there. 2nd and 20. Trips right, 2 to the left. Gun here, 1st and 20 from the 27. Herbert back. He's going to scramble. Ends up getting about 6. Jean came up to meet him up at the pass. Second and 14. This time he's got Vidal with him back there, offset to his left out of the gun. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Here comes a blitz. They do not get there. Herbert rolls right, fires. Incomplete. Good coverage by the Eagles. Ball was thrown into extremely tight coverage there. I think he would have been better off keeping it on another run. Could have scrambled for another 4 or 5. Sets up 3rd and forever. From the 32, out of the gun again. Herbert scrambling around, looking, firing deep. DeJean against McConkey knocks it away. Good coverage. Yeah, this is man coverage. Yeah, no, that's good coverage. Really is. Again, Herbert threw it to a spot where really it was going to be really hard to catch. The punt from the 32 is a bomb. 57 yards back to the 11. Returned out to the 26. 42 the net. Eagles will take over there at the 26. 12:35 to go before the half. 7-3 Chargers. I think you'll see the total be in the low end of the 40-ish range now. This will be the last time. If there's another stoppage, it'll go into the 30s. I still think 3 flats probably the number. There's some 2.5s out there. That seems a little cheap. Given Philly's offense has been largely inept outside of about 4 plays. Total 40.5. So 2.5, 40.5. Let's call it. Chris has 41 under 18. Almost the same thing. So the Eagles, 2 punts and a field goal. The Chargers touchdown, punt. No nap today for me. You guys can tell that for sure. We are 45 minutes into the game, but in our second hour of streaming tonight here on the Sweatbox. I am your host, Rex Byers. Thanks for checking me out on YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Feel free to chat. Let's talk about whatever. I see that earlier today, Third Splash Bra asked me a couple of questions, which I believe I answered accordingly. What I like tonight, I used the Chargers in the William Hill contest and liked them some. We have a Charger bet that added live in the at the 8:49 mark of the first quarter after the touchdown that they scored. Minus 3.5 flat for 2 units medium. Hampton over 2.5 catches. He has 2. So good start. Hurts takes over here. Under center. 3 to the right. Now Smith's in motion to the left. The give is to Barkley. He's tripped up in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard. James is an animal. 3. Second and 11. Clock moving at the 25. Play clock to 1. Snaps. Here comes a blitz. Hit him, but he got it away. And they're going to call a penalty on the Chargers. Number 20 held on to 11. And that's going to be a first down for Philly. The only question is defensive holding or interference. Illegal contact. Only a 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Hurts got whacked. The Chargers don't blitz much. They did that time and they got him. Number 0 didn't even get touched. Brown actually had a step or two on the defensive back, which is what forced the hold, but it was impossible for him to get much on the throw just because he knew he was going to get the shit beat out of him. 11:47 to go. First down now out to the 29. 30. Let's call it the 30. 2 in the backfield this time on each side of Hurts out of the gun. Hurts fires it to one of the backs. That's, I think, 28 Shipley. Let's give him 3. Yeah, that's the first time they've come with that one today. Hurts 6 for 9 for 35 yards to this point. The formation is the same as it was the last time, with 2 in the backfield again. Hurts out of the gun. This is a play fake. He's got time. He fires it. It's complete to the tight end. Goddard. He breaks the tackle out to midfield. First down, Philly. Should have been about a 6-yard gain. Turns into 16 after the missed tackle. Out to the 49 of Philly is where the Eagles will start this first down. Hurts is under center this time. Play fake to Barkley. He's going to take a shot. It's complete over the middle to Brown down to the 30. 29. Give him 22. Aikman likes the route concept. I understand what he's talking about. It's the intermediate route was the one that the Chargers were willing to give up there. Trips left here is a draw to Barkley. Nothing there. No gain. Clock moving inside of 10 minutes. 7-3. LAC. Hurts is back all day. He's going to scramble now. Going to get about 6. Finally gets out of bounds. Third and 2 at the 22. Hurts in the gun. Nobody in the backfield. Intercepted. And he fumbled it. And Hurts fucking recovers and he fumbles it. And the Chargers got it back at the 45. Woohoo! Excellent. What a fucking play that was. 3 turnovers on one play. Or 2 turnovers on one play. That's just such an ill-advised pass. He clearly didn't see it was a defensive lineman. So Hurts with 2 turnovers on one play. You don't see that hardly ever. 7-3, 8:19 to go before the half. I actually have to tweet about this. I'm curious to see if I'll get an answer here. I just tweeted, when was the last time one guy turned the ball over 2 times on one play in an NFL game? Surely that hasn't happened more than a handful of times in history. Yeah, that's crazy shit, man. So they get it out at the 45. The live price now, Chargers 3.5 and 38.5. That's by far Philadelphia's most impressive offensive drive of the night, and it ends that way. I don't understand the thought process on going empty backfield on 3rd and 2, given the ability for their team to be able to gain 2 yards on 2 plays with that stupid shove. I'm at a loss for why they didn't try to pull that off. Rufus, good tweet by Rufus Peabody. That play will be fun for play-by-play parsers. He's right. People that try to write code and figure out what to do with the play-by-play are going to have a field day with that one. Live price, 3.5, 38.5 flat, basically. I actually like under a little bit. But it's hard to pull the trigger. Once these games they start scoring, I mean, look what happened to me yesterday on the 3 second-half unders. All of them, none of them won. I don't know why Hurts didn't fall on the ball instead of trying to pick it up and run it. I mean, fall on the ball, you have the ball and you reset your downs. Vidal bangs his way out for about 7 to get him near midfield or at midfield. Yeah, Hurts tried to pick it up and run with it. He actually did pick it up and run with it for about 2 steps, and then he got smashed. But the whole point is, like you said, you didn't have to do that. Just needed to fall on it. So it's 2nd and 2 out past midfield. The 49 of Philly. 3 to the right, back offset to the right. The throw is to the left. It's complete. It's the first catch of the day for Jackson with the stop. Nothing. 3rd and 2. Clock moving. Going to be near 7 minutes, and they snap it here. 2 to each side. The back is behind Herbert. The pistol. Play fake. Roll left. Fires across his body, and it's complete. Tremendous throw by Herbert. First down to Harris. Rolling left and firing it back to his right. Boy, there aren't many guys that can make that throw. That's really good coverage by 8 as well. I have a question. Let me get to after the next play. Motion left. Big formation here. One back for the Chargers. The give is to Vidal. He bangs it inside the 30 to the 26. Give him 5. Clock will go inside of 6 minutes before the next snap. They always show Taylor Swift when they show the Chiefs and Travis Kelce games. This Herbert's dating this girl named Madison Beer. I think she's some sort of a pop chick or something. She's incredibly hot. Why don't they show her? If she's at the game, they got to start showing her. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, she's super popular. People care. Show her. All right, anyways. Pistol again here this time. I think Hampton's back in there now. They give it to him. He bangs his way for a yard. You could tell Hampton's explosiveness is there. I don't know, however long they decided to give him off was the right amount of time, but he certainly, you can see he's got a fuller gas tank than everybody else. This is not week 11 for him. It's back to week 1. It'll be 3rd and 4 as he gets a yard there. Aikman's talking about some of the injuries for the Chargers. Now the right tackle's down. Obviously, they've had some issues up front with injuries. That's some of the reason why the Chargers are 8 and 4, but 3 of the losses were by 17 to Washington, 14 to the Colts, 29 to the Jags. So in 3 of the 4 losses, they were really not even competitive. In those games, that's what makes you, a lot of people pause for the cause about the Chargers being 8 and 4, is that they haven't, the wins have been wins. And, yeah, sure, you take them how you can get them in this league. You stack them up. But in 3 of those, in 3 of their 12 games, they've been outclassed. And I guess that's one thing you can't say that's happened to really any of the other top teams, to getting beat like that 3 times, having 4 losses or so. Any of the teams with 4 or 5 losses, I guess, none of them have gotten beat like that 3 times. And that's why people, I think, are a little suspect here to say that the Chargers are, should be favored in this game, for example, even at home. Current live price, 4. There is a little bit of a 4.5 out there. I think that's too cheap. I actually like it as high as 6. The total is 39, 39.5, and there is a 40 out there as well at Chris, under money. Halftime in New Orleans, Spurs 77, New Orleans 57. New Orleans a 1-point favorite, 116.5, 117 the second half totals. Toronto leads Tampa Bay 1-0 at the end of 2. Maple Leaf Gardens. I kid, of course. No, they don't play there anymore. Buffalo, Calgary, LA, Utah in the hockey. Both games are in the first 10 minutes. No score in either one of them. It's like a couple Eagle fans on Twitter are asking for more crossing routes. Makes sense. I think today's the 45-year anniversary of Howard Cosell telling the world that John Lennon was assassinated on Monday Night Football. That was how most people found out. December the 8th, 1980. And no, I'm not old enough to remember who was playing. I was 3. 3rd and 4, motion right. Herbert smacked as he goes to the ground. There is a flag. It's probably going to be offensive holding. And they decline it. I'm going to say they could make the field goal a lot more difficult, but it also would give the Chargers another down. You could see he's in some pain there. This will be a 45-yard field goal for Dicker, the kicker. They did call it a sack, so the clock will wind. Snap down up. Good. 10-3. Chargers, 4:55 to go before the break. Three and a half, 39, 38 and a half, the total on the live price before the kick. Like I say, I think I like under. It's just so tough to go under. I mean, all it takes is, 2 big plays, and the next thing you know, the halftime score is 17-10. This is a huge drive for the Eagles. The last time was the first time it seemed like most of the night they had their footing. The drive they got their field goal earlier, they had 1 or 2 big plays, but they didn't sustain much. The last drive was a really good sustained drive until they got down there where Hurts threw the pick on 3rd down. Motion left for Smith. They dump it off, try to throw it to Barkley. It's incomplete. Hurts gets hit as he throws it. 4:45 left before the half, 2nd and 10. Tuli Tuipulotu. Hurts out of the gun. Play clock down to 3. Motion right again from Smith. Barkley offset to his left. Fires it over the middle. Intercepted. That's a very ill-advised throw. Jackson. Three turnovers and 5 snaps for Hurts. Smith fell down, too. That made it a lot easier for Jackson to make the pick. That throw was extremely ill-advised. Jesse Mentor's got Hurts in the blender. Damn it. Well, that's the other thing about betting under. Now what happens, you got turnovers. Now the Chargers have a short field, and there's going to be enough time for the Eagles to get it back and do something with it as well. I still think under's right, but I'm terrified to pull the trigger after what happened yesterday with all these unders. Herbert stripped, and the Eagles got it. And they're out past midfield. 94. Huge play for the Eagles. Big momentum swing. That's 4 turnovers in like the last 4 possessions. Oh, wow, what a terrible block by Hampton. Dean came through the middle, and Hampton picked him up, but he just ran him over. That's one of the reasons why Hampton doesn't get as much clock as he needs to yet. Harbaugh's backs have always been good blockers, and that's something, if you can't block, you can't play for him, no matter how good you are with the ball. What did they say, 4 turnovers in the last 11 plays? (10-3). Philly back in business. 4:31 to go in the half. At the 40, they'll start at their own 42. So they must have called the Eagles down by contact, which took away about 15 yards of return. Hurts has it back. Man, the Chargers were trying to take a shot and blow this thing open. I like the idea. The execution didn't work with the running back missing the block. Trips left here. Barkley offset to Hurts' right. He gives it to him on a draw. Bangs it out to midfield, maybe even to the 49. Give him 9. Clock will wind inside of 4 minutes. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. Live price, Chargers 3-ish, 39.5. Second and 1. Hurts is under center this time. He gives it to Barkley on a power play to the left side. He gets a first down, runs over the defensive back, gain of about 6, down to the 44. Still does make the tackle. Doing a little talking now. Clock moving inside of 3.5 minutes to go here. Derwin James coming off with the trainer. That's no bueno. One of the captains. He's walking off under his own power, but something's not right. What's the ref doing here? Moving some time, putting some time back on the clock for the James injury. Oh, man. Ouch. Well, they put a lot of time back on the clock. 3:37 to go now. Clock moving, play clock to 23. Motion right, trips right now. Under center. Barkley behind him 6 yards. The give is to Barkley. He has a cut back first down. Gain of about 13. Eagles are starting to hum on offense. Eleven carries, 66 yards for Barkley. They give it to him again. This time, give him maybe 3. Jesus, where'd that come from? Excuse me. Bless me. 2nd and 7. Barkley going to take a little break. 12 for 69 here. The left guard's out for Philly now, 69. At the 28, 5 on the play clock. Backfield's empty. Hurts by himself in the gun. Trips to the right. Fires left. Slant complete. Caught by Brown inside the 20 to the 16. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 at the 16. Live price will probably be less than 3 now. Chargers do get the ball at the half, which I will factor into when I do my halftime work here. Just a moment. Live price 3, the dog 32. 3, the dog 24. Give or take. Total between 39.5 over and 40.5 flat. Westgate here in town, 2.5 flat. 39.5. Five turnovers in 11 plays. Let's see if anybody answered me yet about the my guy Chris Minton. Imagine losing Hurts under 1.5 turnovers on a single play. Yeah. Uh, 2.5 at Buckeye as well. I think they have a 40-cent line, so 2.5 minus 20 is flat for them. It's not worth using it much. Most people do have the out, so it's good to know what it is, but I certainly would never recommend you bet into that if your agent doesn't fix that. Make it at least a 20-cent line or 30-cent line. I think it might be a 30-cent line. So 2.5 minus 20 come back flat on Philly. 40.5 under there. 39.5 over at a lot of places. You shit me with this? My TV's trying to act up here. I may have to turn on the other TV. Well, turn the audio off for sure. The picture's cutting in and out. 2-minute warning, 1st down at the 17. The give is the backup. Who's that? Who's 27? 37. Bigsby. Give him 4. 2nd, 6. At the 13. Fake to Bigsby, throw it to Gutter on the right, 1st down. Out of bounds at the 113 mark. Going to be 1st and goal at about the 2. Yeah, that's good execution by Hurts. Eagles are the only team to score a touchdown every goal-to-go drive. That's a pretty good stat. That's why you go 8-4. Philly will call a timeout, 1:13 to go in the half. Play clock was running down. Okay, with all that said, like I say, one of the TVs is acting up. I don't have a chance for. I'm not gambling with my ability to watch the game and have audio as needed. So give me just a second. I'm going to rectify that. I'll leave the mic on, but I'll be back in just a second. Maybe let's call it 30 seconds or so. All right. First and goal at the 2. Handoff is to Barkley up the middle. He's smashed at the line of scrimmage. No gain. The Chargers call a timeout this time. They're going to give themselves some time to work with once this possession's over with. So James is out of the tent, and he has his helmet on. That means he probably's been cleared to play. Hurts rolls left, trips to the left. Comes back, fires across his body, complete touchdown. That's Brown. And there will be no celebrations. Sirianni's losing his mind, holding against the Eagles. Left tackle, Mailata. That's not a hold. Yeah, I mean, they could call that on every play. Are you nuts? 104, and that stops the clock. Second and goal at the 12. Hurts fakes the draw, drops back. He's still dropping back, throws it out of bounds. That'll serve 2 purposes. First of all, it'll make sure that the Chargers are going to get the ball back with at least 1 timeout left. James is back in. Very encouraging. Damn it. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, under would have been a good bet, but no, it wouldn't. It should be 10-10 now. Now under's a terrible bet. But now they're not going to score a touchdown. It'll be a field goal. And now under's a good bet again. Barkley was open. Play clock down to 4 here. They may have to call timeout. What? The Chargers called timeout? What the fuck are they doing? Well, why did they call timeout? Is that right? Oh, completely inexplicable. You guys probably didn't see yesterday. I lost my mind when the Raiders called a timeout before halftime at midfield. It was completely unacceptable. I mean, because it took away their ability to run a play over the middle. It was their last timeout. They had like 7 seconds left, and it was 3rd down. It was like, why don't you give yourself a chance to get into field goal range? You take away your ability to call a timeout. And they couldn't run a slant or anything in the middle of the field. They had to go to the side. It's pitiful. Well, so the Chargers are down to 1 timeout now, 59 seconds left. 3rd and goal at the 12. Empty backfield, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Chargers only rushed 3. Almost got him anyways. Rolls left, and he's hit as he throws. I think it's an incomplete pass. Nope, they're running the clock. The Chargers didn't call timeout. This is a bad job. Okay, they did call it. I think this is an incomplete pass. This is one of those where it's better off for the Eagles, or better off for the Chargers if they call it an incomplete pass. They get their timeout back. Works out good. Get their timeout back. 47 seconds left before the field goal attempt. Really good coverage. You don't want to be in third and long against this defense. I mean, but like I said, they weren't going to get to him, and they only rushed 3. The kick from 30 is good, 10-6. Chargers have 1 timeout, and the clock got up reset, I guess, because there's still 48 seconds left now. Live price 3.5 flat, 37.5, and 38. Game closed 42. Philadelphia a 1-point favorite. For those of you who were not aware before, if you weren't with me at the start, thanks for checking me out. I am Rex Byers, your host here on the SWEATBOX. We're in here sweating out some Monday Night Football. I have a Chargers play, as you see in the chat, minus 3.5 flat. I also have Hampton over 2.5 catches in the game. He has 2. Haskins is out to the 32 on the kick. 43 seconds left for the Chargers. They'll need about, to get into Dicker's range is from 54 or 55. So what is that, the 38? They'll need to get 12, and they need to get about 30 yards. They do have 1 timeout to work with. Gun. Vidal offset to the left. Plenty of time. Taking a shot. Miscommunication with McConkey. Incomplete. Eagles still have 2 timeouts left. Chargers 1. 36 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Second down. Herbert fires it this time to Allen. That's his first catch. Gets about 6. Clock will move inside of 30 seconds. 3rd and 4. It's his first target of the night. 2 to each side. Back offset to the right. Vidal. Herbert back. Fires. It's a lob. He's hit as he throws. I think it was intercepted. Jackson with the pick. Had to be hit as he threw. I think Jackson's hurt now too. There is a flag. Oh, Vidal gets called for a roughness, which is huge because now it sets up the Eagles for a field goal. 7 seconds left and 2 timeouts, but the Eagles were not in field goal range at the spot of the pick. How do they get personal foul out of this? That's a terrible call. That's fucking terrible. How can you possibly call a foul on the guy for tackling the guy? 6 turnovers in this half. So, I mean, that penalty's fucking, it's a terrible call. Objectively speaking. I'm not talking about because I want the Chargers to win as things stand. Wow. They're going to bring Elliott right out now. What are they doing? What the fuck is going on here? Is there a free timeout? Hurts can't find his helmet. So now there's 10 seconds left. The fuck? So they called a penalty that wasn't a penalty, gave him 15 yards, and they gave him 3 more seconds? At the 30 now. 2 receivers to each side. Gun. He's got Shipley back there to his left. Shotgun. Throws it over everybody's head out of bounds. I have no clue what that was trying to accomplish. 5 seconds left. Hurts 10 for 19, 95 yards, 2 picks, and a fumble. I'll say one thing. I don't care how many turnovers there have been. It's actually been a pretty entertaining game for not having this many points. 48-yarder from Elliott. Snap down up, and he has missed it to the left. From the left hash, and he never started close enough to keep it in. That was the last play of the half. Chargers 10-6 at the half. I'm going to say Philly's going to be a half-point favorite. And 20.5, I think, has to be the number. There might be a 21. Let's see what pops up. Hang tight. Let's see what this guy has to say. Okay. Chargers 10, Eagles 6. Chargers do receive to start the second half. Philadelphia, I see BetOnline has a half. I think that's probably right. There is some one out there on Philadelphia. I think that's too high. With the other team getting the ball first and the fact, like I said, I told you I like the Chargers anyways. Obviously nothing else for me to do at this point. I already have -3.5 in pocket. Not looking to add more -3, so just sit tight and see what happens. Total, there is 20 out there at BetWar at the Westgate. Chris has 20 over 12. Pinnacle 20.5 under 15. Paradise Wager 20.5 under. South Point 20.5 flat. That's the highest I see. No opinion. 20.5 I thought about right. 12 minutes and 33 seconds until the second half kicks. No strong opinion here. Chargers 10, Philadelphia 6. Like I say, I have a live investment after the Chargers' first touchdown at the 8:49 mark of the first quarter when they went up 7-0. Chargers minus 3.5 for the game in the live. I'm okay with that spot now. Gun to my head, I would have the Chargers at halftime +1, which would make them -3 for the game. Add on to my original position. Just don't need to. Whole lot happening there. 6 turnovers in one half, two on one play. I'd still wait for somebody on Twitter to answer the question that I asked a little bit ago. When was the last time that someone turned the ball over 2 times on one play in an NFL game? It's got to have happened less than 4 or 5 times in the history of the league, if I had to guess. Let's see what else is going on here. It's a rather pedestrian card tomorrow in the college hoops. Only 2 in the NBA as well. I'm probably going to take that night off. We've had a stream every night since last Thursday. Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll take the bye. Check back in on Wednesday. I'm not committed to that yet for sure. Definitely be back on Thursday. The schedule's already set there. If you go to the page, twitch.tv/Rex_buyers/schedule, I think is the link to get you right to it. If not, go to the about It's on the Twitter page. Twitch.tv/Rex_buyers/about. And when you click on that link, it'll give you all kinds of options to go. And one of them is the schedule. And it'll show you when I'm streaming again. The schedule's lined up there for every week. Obviously, I can change it whenever I feel fit. But, yeah, as it stands, I'll have to go in there and edit it, I think, and get the dates fixed. But, yeah, that's where things stand there. Philly, 1-point favorite at the half. Except for BetOnline, all the halves are gone. Everybody's 1 flat or higher. I don't see it. I don't understand all the Philly love. Chris is 1 -19. That makes no sense to me at all. I'm not saying that they can't cover. I'm just saying it's too high. The 3 obviously is very live here. You can't play fast and loose with it in a low-scoring game like this. 20 flat. A lot of places are on the total now. 20.5 under 15 at Amapola. Yeah, 20 flat's the low number. I actually just have a slight lean to the over. I mean, if you think about that half, they scored 16 points and there was so little done on offense other than a couple of drives where the Eagles didn't end up. I mean, they didn't get any points at all. No, they got 3 on that drive where they had 1st and goal at the 2. 3 turnovers each way. The Eagles had another drive. Like I said, that when they had 2 turnovers on one play, they were, I won't say they were in field goal range. They were close. Elliott's, out of the 32 kickers in the league, he's probably like 28th right now. So, like, counting on him to do a whole lot's asking a lot. It's kind of a tough situation. If he's built up enough equity over the years, he's had enough good years in Philly, he's probably earned himself a little bit more rope. But I can tell you one thing. If he keeps missing field goals from inside of 50, that rope will be gone. You don't, in this league, there's too many guys that can kick it from anywhere and everywhere. And guys that don't even have a job right now, they can kick it from anywhere and everywhere, that somebody's going to get a chance to take his job sooner than later if things don't change there. And ultimately speaking, I mean, this is Chris Berman still on TV? Jesus, I don't pay attention to this shit. Now, ultimately, I mean, the Eagles have enough. There's enough blame to go around everywhere. And they haven't lost anything yet. As many mistakes as really both teams has made. Probably the message both sides are getting to at halftime are, hey, We can't play much worse and we're still ahead, or we can't play much worse and we're only down by 4. Let's hang in there and keep battling and see if we can turn things around. I don't, like I said, I've just seen too much of this from Philly all year to think it's going to change itself around. It's a lazy narrative to sit here and say, oh, this is just like 2 years ago, because in reality it is. It's the truth. I mean, people thought that they were going to turn things around 2 years ago, and it just never happened. Everything carried all the way into the playoffs and went to the Bucks, and the same thing happened all year that made them travel to the road to play a playoff game. I mean, that's just what happened. And it seems like this season seems more of the same to this point. And, of course, it can change on a dime. I mean, they are the defending Super Bowl champions, but Paradise is a half -20 now. Everybody else 1 flat or close to it. It's almost all the same. That half point from a half to 1. So it's 3.5 to 3. It's worth, I'll say between 20 and 22 cents probably, given the current game state. Some would probably argue more than that, given the total being so low. But at halftime, it's like a pick to half is way more volatile, way more important than half to 1, even though it puts the game on 3. I can't believe that fucking clown for the Saints beat me yesterday. Okay. NBA, the Pacers have beaten Sacramento 116-105. Phoenix over Minnesota 106-101. With 1:39 left in regulation. San Antonio and New Orleans. San Antonio's up 20 at the half. New Orleans just came back and taken the lead, 108-107. Spurs were laying 8.5 and 9 in that game. Certainly not expecting that. Pollard had 25 carries for 161 yesterday and 2 touchdowns. He was, I believe, 80-1 to lead the day in rushing, to have the most rushing yards of any running back yesterday. The other surprising part about that is the Browns' defense has been unassailable for the most part this year. The offense has just been historically bad. Yesterday it was the other way around. The offense put up a jillion yards. But my whole thought process on playing Tennessee to begin with, plus 4.5, is because how can Shedeur Sanders in any world ever lay that number to anybody, in the NFL? But he wasn't the problem yesterday. He played pretty good. Of course, they were in a game state where they had to throw the ball the whole second half and were playing from behind, so he put a lot of yards up that may have been empty calories. We'll find out next week. I'm not necessarily thinking that he suddenly turned a corner. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The Browns are in Chicago next week, catching 7.5, 8. The only problem with the Bears is they're not any good. They have a great coach, but to ask them to get separation is probably asking a little too much. The spot screams Bears. I just can't get to the window with them, knowing that it's a sandwich as well. They have another Green Bay game coming up, just off the Green Bay game. Which, by the way, the schedule makers need to be hung for that. Got to stop scheduling games between teams 2 and 3 weeks apart. It's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to the 2 teams involved. It's not fair to the other 2 teams in the division. Injury states, team situations, momentum, all that stuff, as you know, varies over the course of a season. Everything goes up and down. A lot easier to play a team when some key guys are out than it is to not, and especially when those guys are out for multiple weeks. anyways, top of the hour here. Rex Byers with you here on the Sweatbox. Welcome in. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for a little while tonight. Twitch TV, YouTube TV. I'll hang out a little bit into the second half, but probably not that long. We'll see how it goes. If there's anybody in here and somebody starts chatting and talking and want me to go over some stuff, great. Otherwise, I'll let you be and sweat it yourself towards the end. Hopefully, in the long term, I'll be here the whole time. It'll be a full-time gig. Obviously, not enough people around now and not enough ways to earn for me to consider doing this, balls to the wall with no other ability to earn. So I'm sure you'd understand. Game pretty much painted 20.5, not much to it. Again, no opinion, no play here for me. The second half, I do have the one pending play. Pre-game on Hampton over 2.5 catches plus 144 or so average. He's got 2, just need one more. And also Chargers live, as you see on the chat, minus 3.5 flat, 2 units medium. I made it after the Charger touchdown. Five minutes from the puck drop in Detroit, Vancouver, and Minnesota, Seattle. Canucks, small home dog, 123-ish. 6.5 under, 15. Minnesota favored in Seattle as well, 133-ish. Anywhere from 128 to 140. 5.5 under, 15 under the average on the totals. Toronto leads Tampa 1-0 midway through the third. Calgary 2-0 at the end of one over Buffalo. Kings 2-0 in Utah. As I told you earlier, that's the other play of the night that we have. It's a Malinsky special. That means Dave Malinsky was a tout out here that was really good about identifying spots to bet against teams coming off long road trips, playing their first game back at home. Utah fits that bill tonight. They were out east, I think, for 6. That's their first game back against the Kings. Kings were the correct side there at plus money. They were up 2-0 at the end of one. Ball's on the tee. Elliott's kick is caught at the 6. Decent return out to the 32-33. Second half underway. Halftime line will be gone. It'll close 1-20.5. Philly, the favorite, 120.5. Uh, 10:04 p.m. Eastern, 7:04 Pacific. The second half is underway. I need a little bit of a break. I'm going to take one. I'm going to come back, and let's just see what the audience looks like in a little bit. If you want to give me about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll check back then, and we'll go from there. We'll see how long we carry this thing on, whether it be till the end of the game or whether it be just a few more minutes after I come back. But I will be right back. We'll check back in with you shortly. Grab yourself a beer, drink, some food. And don't mute me. I'll mute myself here for a minute. But when you hear me start talking again, turn the volume back up. All right. Second half underway on ABC. Chargers 10, Philly 6. Second and 10. Second play is a run. Vidal breaks it outside, bangs his way for about 6. It'll be 3rd and 4. Clock will move inside of 14 minutes to go. And I'll talk to you in just a few minutes. All right. So an eventful quarter that's moved by extremely quickly. The Chargers had the ball first. Took it down, kicked the field goal, then took the points off the board after they called a leveraging penalty, which, by the way, off the record, I cannot fucking stand that call. The defensive guys should be able to do whatever they want to block the kick. Like I hate the fact that they call a penalty on that. Had goal to go, eventually ended up making a field goal again to go up 13-6. 9 minutes, 24 seconds they had the ball. Elliott now from 54 for Philly is good. So Philly, 2 minutes and 14 seconds, their possession there, and they get 3 out of it. 13-9. Chargers. Live price, Chargers 3.5, 35.5. I agree with both. I make the Chargers 4 and 35.5. Toronto has beaten Tampa Bay in the hockey 2-0. The Suns have beaten Minnesota on the road. Outright winner as an 8.5-point dog. Phoenix 108-105. San Antonio up 127-123. 2:43 left to go in New Orleans. Has anybody been watching this Hard Knocks in the NFC East? I'd like to check that out. I'm trying to figure out if I can find it on my Magic box somewhere. Probably not. Maybe if not, then if somebody's got a link for it, if it's something I can get to without having to pay anything. I don't know if YouTube wouldn't have it, but somebody might have something. That'd be awesome. I'd like to check that out. I'm sure it's probably pretty good. Okay. 3:22 to go in the third. 13-9. Each team's had the ball once in the third quarter. Each team kicked the field goal. Very good for under bettors. Not so much over, although, again, as bad as it's been with all the turnovers, there's still plenty of time left. I will say I continue to screw this up in the first half. Like my brain couldn't fathom the fact that there were 3 turnovers on one play and not 2. 3. The Hurts interception, then the fumble on from the guy that intercepted it, and then Hurts fumbling after he recovered the fumbler's fumble. The interceptor's fumble, sorry. So, yeah, Hurts had 2 turnovers by himself on one play, and the Chargers also had 1 on the same play. So that's why there were 5 turnovers on 11 snaps, which, quite frankly, it's been an entertaining game for the score being as low as it is. I think Hampton has the only touchdown, right? And then there have been, Hampton. How do the Chargers have? Because 2 field goals and a touchdown, and the Eagles have 3 field goals. Hampton scored the first touchdown on a catch. He was about 17-2 to score the first touchdown. There was a couple of friends I respected were on that, so good for them. I had talking about the Super Bowls here. I have Hampton. My only play pre-match here was Hampton over 2.5 catches plus 150-ish, 145-ish. I got greedy. There was 1.5 out there, like minus 160, and I thought, well, if he falls 2, so be it. But the number I thought was attractive with the juice. He got 2 in the first quarter. He hasn't had any since. To be fair, Herbert's only completed 8 passes, so it's not like that he's setting the world on fire throwing the ball. We're almost at the end of the third quarter, and the quarterbacks are, let's see, Hurts is 12 of 22 for 127, and Herbert's 8 for 15 for 110. I think I'm going to say it's a combination of good defense, but also somewhat mediocre offense. Herbert under center here. He's got 1 back working with him. It's Vidal. Play fake. Here come the Eagles after him. Herbert gets away, runs it, ball's out. Oh, and the Chargers got it. Great play by 44 to be on top of things there. Fullback. They actually had a fullback in the game there. That play had never had a I can't believe that he didn't lose the ball there. I mean, you could see it coming a mile away. A fumble was coming. He was carrying it out. There were 2 guys coming at him. Just a tough break for the Eagles. And now Herbert's getting his shit kicked in. one thing that's imperative, the Chargers got to win the game, and they got to keep this guy healthy. The schedule just doesn't allow them any sorts of breaks going forward. You can't afford to have a game where he's not the starting quarterback. Vidal, big gain, first down, flag down. We'll bring it back. Hold. Tough one on the tight end there, Disley. This is a must game. I mean, the Chargers really need it more than the Eagles based on the setup. Eagles have Dallas behind them in the division, nobody else. And they play the Raiders and then Washington twice in the last three weeks with the trip to Buffalo thrown in there too. This is not a must-win for Philly. It is kind of for the Chargers based on the fact that they go at Kansas City, at Dallas, Houston at home, at Denver. All those teams who either be in the playoffs or are fighting for the playoffs or won the last Super Bowl. So, yeah, it's a tough one. Tough run here coming in. 9-4, whole lot better than 8-5 for San Diego. Shotgun here. Herbert's back. Hampton this time off to his left. Throw it to him. Fuck! Sack. God, I thought Hampton was going to get his third catch there. He once again was supposed to be the blocker there. So, second and short became second and medium after the 10-yard penalty, and now it's third and forever. Bond came through the middle, and Hampton missed him. I think that the Eagles have game planned around when Hampton's in the game, blitz through the middle. If we think they're going to throw it, Hampton's in there, automatic blitz. 3rd and 22, they run a draw play, they'll punt it. At the 18, clock's going to run down inside of a minute to go in the third. Eagles will get it back down 4. Punt has the Eagles taken over somewhere around their own 40 is what it looked like. I'm trying to type up this message on Twitter about what they're doing with the pass rush. Live prices coming. My tweet, pretty simple. This is not rocket science. If Hampton is in the game in a passing situation, Philly will come with an A-gap or middle blitz to challenge him as a blocker every time. Chargers need to scheme around if he's going to play in those situations. He needs to scheme around it if he's going to play in those situations because he's useless as a blocker. All right. Anyways, Chargers are still favored. 1.5 dog money at the Westgate. Pick lay 20 at Buckeye. -1, -07 at Chris. -1 plus 04 at Pinnacle, which is very close to a pick'em. I don't know what the comeback is on the other side, so I'm not in my Pinnacle account. I'm just looking at an odd screen. Total 34.5 over. There's a 35 under 16 at Chris as well. 13. I guess 13's still in play late in the third quarter. 33 seconds left. It looks like It looks like that San Antonio has beaten New Orleans in the basketball, laying 8.5, 9 at New Orleans, 133 to 132. Must have been a hell of a game. Dylan Harper. Evidently must have hit a game winner is what it looks like. Yeah, the Eagles, it seems like they've done enough stuff on the last couple drives to, especially up front, to do it, especially the adjustments made. Obviously that's the first time the Chargers have gone anything resembling 3 and out, I think. Herbert's not right, but he has to play. I mean, it's not like there's another option. He's great. He's a great player. All right, at the 39, they start here. Barkley gets smashed in the backfield, loses about 2. There is a flag as well. Those are the killer mistakes. 90 lined up offsides for the Chargers. That'll give them a free 5. Take the 2nd and 12 off the board, make it 1st and 5. Clock is running, but they'll have to run at least one more play before the end of the quarter. At the 44, trips left, motion right from Smith, play fake. Here comes James after Hurts. He rolls right. He fires out of bounds. Nothing there. 5 seconds left in the quarter. 2nd and 5. Gunn out to Goddard. They got him, but not before he got a few yards out of it. Looks like they had a chance to get him in the backfield. Give him 4, end of the quarter. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 48-ish, give or take. End of 3. 13-9. Chargers. Phil Collins, take me home. Getting us out of the 3rd quarter. Good work by the ABC people. Some teams are better than others at that with the production music, depending on how the game's going, or can tie some songs into other stuff. $135 to 132 was the technical final score in that Spurs and New Orleans games. I don't know how it got there. The New Orleans actually outscored them 45 to 23 in the 3rd quarter. Spurs got them by 10 in the 1st, 10 in the 2nd, and 5 in the 4th. That's how they win by 3. Live price. Buckeye says pick your winner. Chris says Philly -1, -07. I could not disagree with that more. I realize the Chargers have had some issues, but they've still been the better team. They're not letting Philadelphia score touchdowns. I don't know where that's going to change. 34.5 flat, 34.5 over, 33.5 over a quarter. Pinnacle +1, -1 +20. That's worth a bet. Anything that's pick flat or better is worth a bet on the Chargers here. -1 +20 is definitely a bet. Let's add another unit here. We have 2 already. If you didn't get involved earlier, go ahead and go for 2. Good. All right, all set. Barkley breaks away. Look at this. The first play of the fourth quarter, he's fucking gone. No flags. Ah. 9 seconds into the fourth quarter, the Eagles have scored their first touchdown of the game. Came at absolutely a perfect time for me to get it right out of my butt. They were in that stupid formation for that play, which, whatever, but the Chargers just handled that piss poor. I'd never handicapped that. I went ahead and mentally gave them a first down in my head. Before the quarter even started, I was like, all right, they're going to run that play, first down. They haven't ran it yet today. What a mess. Eagles have taken their first lead of the evening, 16-13, 14:51 to play. Live price Philadelphia is -3, even-ish, give or take. Total 38.5 over, 39 under, 19 is what I see as well. I actually like over a little bit. I can see this thing turning into a track meet now, but I don't fucking know. I'm like seriously second guessing everything that I thought I knew. I mean, that was so. I was pretty hell-bound in my convictions of thinking that they couldn't do a whole lot against the Chargers the whole night. Like, why would it change now? 3/4 of this shit. You ram one in there for a unit more on top of your first two to make the play. I won't say uncomfortable, but it was certainly more than what I'd like to have at this point. And the way the game's sitting, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really tough for them to win 20-16 or whatever by more than 3. At least I can get Hampton one more catch. That'd be awesome. Get me that part. As things stand, everything's a loser. 3 plays, no wins. But we got a whole quarter to figure it out, or close to it. 9 seconds away from a whole quarter, because that's how long that play took. Barkley's run, I think, was about 50, 55 or 60, 58 yards, something like 52. Yeah, so that tush-push formation, that brotherly shove that they run, I think it's probably a situation where the NFC teams have a little bit more success than the AFC teams against it this year, and the NFC East certainly should have more success because they see that play, multiple times a year, and especially they play the Eagles twice a year. So that's why it's always tough when you're talking about like big point spreads for teams in the same division to lay. It's almost always better off if you take a big number than lay in the division. I learned that the hard way yesterday with Falcons Saints, for example. Bucs Saints. Just one of those where Saints have played the Bucs enough over the years, even though the coaches are different, the players are different. Some, just a division game, and it's hard to give that many points away. In a non-conference game like this, the Chargers don't see that play. They haven't ran against it. They don't practice. You surely can't practice against it because you get your whole team hurt. Or did they get a hold here? They didn't call it. I saw it when it happened, but once I didn't see a flag, I was just like, it's over. That's one of those where if the flag thing would have popped up on the screen, I would have known what the call would have been. It definitely was going to be a hold because 52 got held, but they just don't call that. That's a 7-point swing. If they call that penalty, it's now 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 12. And they ain't getting no fucking first downs on 3rd and 11. You guys have watched the same game I have. I'm not mad. It's just what it is. 15 for 117 now after that 52-yard touchdown for Barkley. He's had mostly a quiet night, couple of big carries. Here we go. Let's see what the Chargers can answer. I would have only had over in that live situation, by the way. Anything over 39 at plus money is a good bet in my mind. I'm not pulling the trigger. I'm gun shy. But I still think the Chargers are going to be good for a touchdown here. And And if that's the case, I can't lose them both if they do score a touchdown. At the 30, it's 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain here. Trips left here. Now there's motion right from the tight end. 2 to each side. Back offset to his left in the shotgun. Play fake to Vidal. 94's in the way to fuck everything up. He throws it to McConkey. That's a catch at the 40. 43, first down, Chargers gain of about 10. Good work by Herbert with his footwork to maneuver his way through all that mess. Gain of about 12. Yeah, the right tackle didn't have a chance against 94. I was pitiful. It's McConkey's first catch, 12 yards. At the 42, pounded up the middle to Vidal. Hampton's day might be fucking done. I might be cooked on this prop. He can't block anybody. That's the problem. If he's in the game, the Philly just automatically blitzes every time. All right. Look at this. 24 dropbacks, 13 pressures, 5 sacks. Yeah, the Philly defensive line's beating the shit out of them. Not surprising. That's why they were the favorite in this game. Here comes a blitz. Herbert gets away. Turns this into a 7-yard gain. It should have been an 8-yard loss. Aikman was talking about he's not a small man, and Herbert basically towers over him. I mean, he's been living in the fucking backfield all night when he blitzes. There was no back that time. Herbert just made a miss. Third and 3. 2 to each side. Back offset to the right. Vidal, he's in motion. The wheel route to Vidal. Incomplete over his head. They're going to have to punt. Don't like the decision. I would say that's a low percentage pass given the situation. DeJean's a good defensive, good safety. Yeah. McConkey. Yeah, there it is. That's the throw they have to make. McConkey was open. Just don't like the home. It's just too much of a gamble at this spot. Chargers are deciding to punt. They're supposed to go for it. I agree with that. They didn't. They punted it. That's caught at the 5. He's hit at the 9. Broke a tackle. Broke another tackle. Out to the 28. Now the analytics really look good, and the punters look a bunch of – this fucking Harbaugh, man. What a joke. I got to remember what I'm doing with my money when we start involving people like that. Hampton's talent's so much better than Vidal, and he's got Vidal out there because Hampton's – can't fucking block anybody. 16-13 Philly. They'll take over at their own 28. 11:49 left in regulation. Live price is coming shortly. Fuck. $16-13 Philly. 11:49 to go in regulation. The live price Philadelphia 3.5. The dog 50. Wow. 3 minus 41 at Chris. I think it's a situation where the game's not likely to fall 3. It could, or at least not necessarily has to, with all this time left. If you like Philly, I think you're better off the 3.5 and taking plus 130. And if you like the Chargers, you're better off taking 3 at plus money instead as well. Obviously, don't try to do both inside the thing. You got a chance at a reverse Polish middle or Polish side, whatever you want to call it. Total 36.5 under 30, 36.5 under 40, and 36 over 30. I can't really see a world that 7 is the right line, even though it's been a low-scoring game. The live total would be 7 from here on out to the end. I don't want to lay a number. It's not worth 13 to 10 or more. If it was closer to flat, I'd say over 36 is worth a bet. The half point's worth a ton, as you obviously would know. I would never touch 36.5. If I was going to go under, I definitely would want that half point in this situation. Oh, big face mask. Missed it. He actually muffed the punt. It's amazing. Got his face mask grabbed, and he was in the middle of trying to fumble it. At the 27, Hurts, play fake. Drops back all day. Only a 4-man rush. Rolls right, fires, complete. First down, Eagles. Out to the 45. That's Cooper's first catch of the night. Third of the year. 19 yards. Play fake again. Firing a shot down the middle. It's picked off. Deflected and intercepted. Brown probably should have caught it. He did not, and the Chargers are back in business. $20 for the Chargers. Hart makes the play. He did hum that thing in there. Troy's right. I think Brown felt some footsteps. He alligator armed that thing. He sure did. He saw there was a defensive player that was right there on top of him. That was not Hart. Hart was the guy guarding him, behind him a little bit, but the help was there. And Hart, Brown, I'm sure he saw him. At the 35, the Chargers take over now. Of Philly, 11:03 left. Fourth turnover for the Eagles tonight. Herbert again. They got him at the line of scrimmage. Call it a sack again, probably the 6th. Lost a yard. Had time, ran out of time. Six sack, 2nd and 11. The give is to Vidal again. Hampton's completely omitted from the game at this point. Fucking terrible. Clock will tick inside of 10 minutes. 16-13 Philly. 3rd and 5. They are in Dicker's range. I don't think they want to settle for 3 here. Here comes only 4 here. No blitz. Fires it over to the sideline complete. That's Keenan Allen. First down at the 21. Big play. That was a absolute laser beam. Jackson, no chance there. Big formation here. They're actually in the eye. Hampton gets it. Bangs his way through for about 4. It's pretty evident. If Hampton's in the game, he's going to get the ball as a runner. If he's in the game as a blocking back, when they're throwing it, the Eagles are going to blitz through the middle or the A-gap every time. I've said this on Twitter a little bit ago. It's fairly common sense at this point. Hopefully they figured it out. I need Hampton to catch another pass. I got greedy with the over 2.5 plus money instead of over 1.5. He caught 2 in the first quarter, nothing since. Clock bleeding down, 2nd and 7. Hampton's still in there, 8:23 left. He's by himself in the backfield this time. Trips to the right. They give it to him again. He bangs his way through the right side for about 4 more. It'll be 3rd and 3. I don't know if he got 3 on the first play and 4 on the second or vice versa, but I am pretty sure it's 3rd and 3. Colts at 8 and 5 are currently out of the playoffs. Yikes. I think that schedule doesn't get any better for them neither. They went from the top seed in the AFC or one of them to this. What do they got left? I'm in the middle trying to look here. Herbert back, 3rd and 3, rolls right, buys himself some time, fires it all the way out of the end zone, 4th down. Fuck off. They're going to have to kick a field goal. 7:29 left. Oh, there's Broncos fans there. They're rooting for the Eagles. That's funny. They were probably here yesterday, rooting for the Broncos here, and then go to L.A. to root for the fucking Eagles. Good on them. That's awesome. That's a great job by them. If they're like from Denver especially, or even if they're not, if they're Denver fans, the fact that they are smart enough to plan a road trip that brings them here yesterday and then down to L.A. today, and they're wearing Bronco jerseys both days, that's awesome. Good on them. Dicker the kicker bangs one through from 31. 7:26 to go. We're tied at 16 at SoFi. Hell of a football game. Colts, as I was trying to get to with the schedule coming up, they play at Seattle, and they're catching 2 touchdowns because they don't have a quarterback. The biggest news out of today is Phillip Rivers is going to be brought in for a tryout tomorrow, I guess, and see how that goes. Possible practice squad addition, which means he would be quickly elevated after that. You don't want Brett Rippon to be your guy, not against that Seattle defense, but maybe they punt this game. It's in the end, it's they have Seattle and San Francisco back to back. Maybe they punt on one or both of them, and because the ending of the season is Jacksonville at home and at Houston. So the Colts play a bitch of a schedule coming in here with all playoff teams on the radar, but don't throw them out. But they're going to have to win at least, probably 2 more of these at least to get there. At 8 and 5, I need to get to 10 to have a chance at least a wild card, I would think. Let's see, 16 all, live price coming shortly here. Hang tight. There's all kinds of variety in the market. Once you get to this point in the game, when you're inside the last half of the last quarter, so 1/8 of the game to play or less, it becomes really volatile because all the permutations, every point at this point of the game is magnified. It's just so hard. There's fewer possessions. There's fewer points. It's it's tough to make a number that's right. Superbook has Philly -2.5, -40. I think that's absurd. That can't be the right line. That has to be from earlier. Chris and Pinnacle have totally abandoned it at this point, unless they have a pick line that I'm not seeing. 37.5 over 42, 38.5 under 19. That means, remember, that's actually way too low. Each team has a chance to score a touchdown. They're basically saying field goal only. 2.5 minus money, 1.5 at Caesars, 2.5 minus money everywhere, 2.5 minus a lot. Yeah, I don't get it. Bet 105, a half on the bottom, the dog 55. I think the pick line's the way to go. It's Cannon in a tie. Let's see if anybody has a. Let me look at the money line. Yeah, Pinnacle, 160 on top. Chris, 168. Superbook, 150. Listen, I like the Chargers plus 33, 36, 20, 25, 30. Anything more than 20 for sure would be a take. I'm already pot committed here on a couple of these things. Not going for anything else, but that's how I would play it. If you haven't been involved in anything all night and you're just checking me out here on the Sweatbox for the first time, yeah, obviously I'm going to try to recommend bets orally that I would do if the positions were what they are. If positions were different than what they are, obviously I'm able to try to put these things on the chat, and you see if you look, you'll see I have Chargers minus 3.5 flatter better from earlier, and I have Chargers pick flatter better for another unit on top of that. In addition to the Hampton prop over 2.5 catches, he only has 2. That if I had nothing to it right now, and I was just starting, or if you're just joining me right now and you want to get involved, want to have a sweat, and curious on my side, I would say find 130 or better on the live pick 'em, or whatever you want. The Chargers to win the game plus 130 would be a good bet, at least for a unit. Have something to sweat. All right, here we go. Eagles trips left here. Barkley offset to the right in the gun. He fires it out to Smith. He gets about 2 before he gets slammed. They threw it right into the blitz. Glad that it didn't work out for more than 2 yards. At the 31, clock moving inside of 7 minutes to go now, 2nd and 8. Hurts under center here. Barkley in the backfield. He gets the ball off right tackle. Going to bang his way through for about 2. It'll be 3rd and 6. Big play here. That goes without saying, obviously. 2 touchdowns, 6 field goals, 4 interceptions, and 5 fumbles. 3 lost. It's been a very fascinating and entertaining game. It hasn't been poorly played, even with the 7 turnovers. Whoever wins it, obviously, is going to feel fortunate to get out alive with all the mistakes. And whoever loses, it's going to be like, man, we could have won the game if we just would have did one more thing better than the other team. One less mistake. Hurts back. Here comes a rush. Only 4. They hit him as he throws it, and it's tipped, almost intercepted. Brown was the intended receiver, and it's knocked away, and the Chargers will force a punt. Let's fucking go. Give me a touchdown. I don't want to fuck around with any more of these fucking field goals. All right, come on. Get the ball to Hampton one more time, too, for Christ's sakes. Let's see what else is going on. I had something I was going to say about this, and I forgot. Oh, well, I can do this. Top of the hour, 11:01 p.m. Eastern, 8:01 Pacific in L.A., where this game is being played, and at my condo here in Las Vegas. I am Rex Byers, your host of the Sweatbox. Welcome in YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Thank you for checking me out. I appreciate the time and effort. I will be back most likely not until Thursday, as things stand. No plans to stream tomorrow Wednesday. We're at a point in the year where it's between the Thanksgiving and Christmas, where the hustle and bustle of all the holiday basketball is to a halt, and it'll pick back up here pretty soon. So yeah, there's like finals week or close to it. So sort of take a deep breath and a break and move on. Tomorrow and Thursday, not tonight too. Light schedules in the college hoops. Not a lot going on. I don't really care about the NBA or NHL until playoff season, so you won't hear me or see me come on to do live stuff for any of that until then. There's no football. There's no bowl games yet. Take tomorrow, Wednesday off. I'll check back in on Thursday night, and we'll have a good time Thursday. Let's go over, I have a couple minutes here. The live price is coming here. Chargers are back favored again. I would bet this again. They're laying pick 30, pick 40. That to me is too cheap. 35.5 under 30, 37.5. 35.5 under. 30, that's too low. Let's see what else is out there. 36.5 under. 37.5 under. 35.5 flat under a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's DraftKings has it the lowest. I mean, I just feel like that there's so much time left that if asking for a field goal at this point, both teams have all 3 timeouts left. I think that's not enough, but who knows? Maybe a field goal wins it. Maybe it falls 19-16. We'll see how it plays itself out. There's 5:46 left when the drive starts for the Chargers here. Oh yeah, I was going to go over at the very least, and I'm not going to do all this, the whole card. We're getting late enough tonight. You guys can find this on your own. Thursday night, Atlanta is in Tampa Bay. That game is on Amazon Prime. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit are on the call. Tampa laying 4, 44.5. Here's the co-sell talking about John Lennon. I brought that up earlier. 45 minutes today. Patriots Dolphins 1980. December 8th, 1980. John Lennon was assassinated. Vidal, who's in the game because Hampton can't fucking block, gets smashed in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. I hate this. So conservative. $16 all. 5 and some change left. Motion left, trips left for the Chargers now. Back is offset to the right, Vidal still. Herbert gets it out of the gun. Stands, waits, runs. He's going to get a few. He goes forward and didn't slide, so not sure how many they're going to give him eventually. 5 maybe? Looked like for a second he was going to do better than that. God, he should have did better than that. 3rd and 7 at the 30, at the 28. I thought he got at least to the 30. What a terrible spot. Fuck, that's bad. Philly rushes 4, trips left again, rolls right. He can't get out of it. They got him. This fucking 90. Absolutely fucking ruining the game. 7th sack tonight for Philly. If he can just get out of that mess, he's got all kinds of time to do whatever he wants. Got the Eagles knocked down. The two receivers for the Chargers got knocked down before they even started their route. He had no chance. Scott has to punt it from the 21. It's a punt all the way to the 22. 57 yards. Return's pretty good for Philly. Out past the 41. 3:33 left. Yeah, Johnson and Allen both get the shit beat out of them. That wasn't open. Couldn't throw it to that. Philly's coverage on those last 2 plays, that when the Chargers went trips left, both of them was really great. About the best I've seen this year on back-to-back plays. The Chargers had no chance. Here we go. No live price. They're already playing. No commercials, I guess, needed at this point, even though both teams have all 3 timeouts left. 3:33 left in the game. At the 40, Philadelphia takes over 16 all. Barkley gets it. Nothing there. Maybe give him a yard. Dickerson's back in there now. 17 for 119 for Barkley tonight. 52 of that was on one play to give Philly the lead. Inside of 3 minutes, clock moving. Both teams have all the timeouts. It turns into a chess match between clock management now. I don't like Harbaugh when that happens. Brown breaks a tackle. He's still going. Out of bounds. That should never have happened. Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. Or it should have been 3rd and 5. 2:43 left. The clock does stop on that play. That's just not acceptable. You can't miss tackles. I mean, it's the only thing the Chargers are so good at. First down at the 44. Jesus Christ. Throw it out to the outside, incomplete to Goddard. Not a good throw. 2:40 left. Eagles are not quite in field goal range yet. And it now becomes a situation about clock management and how the Chargers are going to try to figure out the timeout situation. You have to be judicious here. You don't want to call them too early. And if they get a first down, then you're out of timeouts and they can set it up for anything inside of a 40 to beat you or whatever. .240 left at the 44. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Actually, trips to the right. Barkley offset to the left in the shotgun. It's a slant. Caught. First down. Brown to the 25. Give him 19. And now it becomes a timeout. You have to figure out when you want to call your timeouts. Fuck. So they called their first one already. Let's see how much time they're gonna put back on there. 2:33 left. Brown 6 for 99. Guy's a fucking animal. All right, 1st and 10, 2:33 left. Chargers did call timeout. They did not go to commercial. I guess they're happy with their quota. The hand is to Barkley. He loses 2, maybe 3. That's super ultra conservative by Philadelphia. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that they on first down after the Chargers had called a timeout that they got that conservative. You can run it, but you don't have to make it to be the most bland running play on your offense. I would have preferred something that's a little bit more exotic, some sort of a tight end screen or a shovel or something. Something to ensure the clock keeps moving that's a high percentage pass. Or a run that's getting away from all the traffic in the middle. 2:27 left. 16 all, 2nd and 11. Hurts is going to be out of the gun here. Another timeout with no commercials. 2 to each side here. Barkley offset to the right. There's a blitz. They throw into it. Up. Oh, Brown had it in his hands and couldn't hang on. Wow. That's about as good as you can do it. That's just a good play all the way around. A good throw. He had his hands on it. The defensive back made a great play. That's just greatness all the way around. It's not Brown's fault. That's a tough one, man. That was a great throw. All right, 3rd and 12, 2:23 left, and now Philly has to call a timeout. So we may have a commercial on this one. Nope, we're not going to. It sucks when you're trying to bet live. You can't get a full timeout. All these timeouts are 30 seconds. 16 all, 2:23 left to go. I do not see a price. I see a bunch of 2.5 minus a bunch of money, Philly. 2.5 minus 310, minus 350. What the fuck? Those can't be live. I would be plus 2.5 minus plus 250 or more for my nuts. Elliott's no cinch to make a chip shot, and even if he does, the Chargers have all day and 2 timeouts left. I mean, it's crazy. That can't be the line. Sorry, they have 1 timeout. Fake news. Philly has 2. 2:23 left, 3rd and 11 at the 26. There's the backfield is empty. Hurts is in the shotgun by himself. There are 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Chargers are showing blitz. Here they come. Quick throw out. Incomplete. Wow. Worse than that could happen for Philly. Smith drops it. Wasn't a good throw. But it was as easy of a pitch and catch as you're supposed to have in this league. And you could be for sure that Philly called that to make sure that it would get to the 2-minute warning or force Chargers to call their last time out. And that did not happen. Colossal failure on all accounts there. Elliott missed from 48 earlier today. This one here is from 44. Snap down up from the left hash, and it's right down the middle. Philadelphia takes the lead 19-16. Sure would be nice if the Chargers run the kickoff back and go up 23-19. That'd be fucking tremendous, to be honest. Or if they throw a wheel route to Omari in Hampton, he takes it to the house. That'd be good, too. 2:16 left. No commercial again. The Mouse has fulfilled their contractual obligations to everybody, I guess. Not a fantasy game for anybody to be a sight to behold, for sure. Quarterbacks are responsible for 6 turnovers. Hurts 4 and 2 for Herbert. Here we go. Having a little brief chat with my guy, Ed Salmons, rooting for the tie here. Not rooting for it with the bets, obviously, but I always root for tie. He roots for ties, and I'm in the same boat. I like to see him. It makes the standings all fucked up, and it screws up the playoff permutations. And especially with 2 teams that are in this situation, it's got a real shot. It can get there for sure. Herbert rolled right and through it. It took forever. Incomplete. 2:04 left. They do have 1 timeout, and the clock will stop on this play. Curious to see if the Chargers try to run the ball here. That would be something that's worth thinking about, given the fact that the clock's going to stop anyways. Trips left, 1 to the right. Back is Vidal. He's offset to the right of Herbert. Philly rushes 4. Herbert fires it down the middle. It is dropped. Right to McConkey. DeJean might have gotten a hand on it. If not, McConkey just dropped it. Incredibly loud with Philly fans in this building. I mean, he tried to hum one right in there. I think DeJean might have tipped it. Wow, the live price now, Philly's going to be an astronomical favorite on 3rd and 10. 1:58 to go. Let's see what pops up. I mean, they're using 2.5 minus $5. 2.5 minus $4.70. 2.5. I mean, how can that be the fucking price? I mean, this game could end up being a tie when it's all said and done. The pick number is how you have to book it. You have to say pick if you want to use. maybe I'm lost. Maybe I have a bias against Philly. I don't think I do. Most of them aren't dealing. Superbook has plus $3 on the Chargers at the pick price. That's the better way to book it. The 2.5 line's not very smart. There's just too many ways to lose it. 35.5 under 90 at Buckeye. So you're saying the final score 19-16 by doing that logic. Chargers only have one timeout. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. I would actually understand that. I wouldn't bet anything. I will say the Chargers only need about 2 first downs to get in Dicker's range. It's a dangerous price. The only problem is Philadelphia's just been kicking the shit out of them out front for the better part of the whole game. All right. 11:18 Eastern, 18 Pacific. My name is Rex Byers. Thank you for checking me out on the Sweatbox, YouTube TV, Twitch.tv. The links are in the Twitter. You guys can see all that shit when you get a chance to check it out. Good sweat tonight. Had a live Chargers bet minus 3.5 flat after they scored the touchdown to go up 7-0. They have done very little on offense, to be quite fair, since then. Neither team's really done a whole lot on offense for the most part. The Philadelphia touchdown was a 52-yard carry by Saquon Barkley on a brotherly shove formation where they ended up coming right out first play of the fourth quarter, giving him a toss to the left. Got a little bit of help from what I thought was maybe a hold, but I'm not going to argue with it. They call it sometimes, they don't other times. He able to take it in. That was Philadelphia's kicked 4 field goals. Chargers have kicked 3. Each team's got 1 touchdown, and that's where we stand. Omarion Hampton caught the first touchdown pass of the game and was about plus 850 to score the first touchdown from Herbert. 1:58 left at the 28. 3rd and 10. Herbert back, fires. Not even close. There is a flag. They're going to call defensive holding. As I say, the only way that he's not that, these quarterbacks in the NFL, especially the best ones, don't miss by that much. He was not close to the receiver. Now I know why. Quinyon Mitchell held it. And that changes everything here. Johnston was, oh, yeah, okay, sure. Not by a lot, but it's enough. You can't do that. He's cheating. Yeah, 27 was beat. I'm glad they didn't call roughing the passer, even with a Charger ticket. 97 hit the quarterback. It was fair. Out to the 37, first down, Chargers. Herbert rolls away, gets away from the pressure. Fire, looks, he's going to run it. He gets out of bounds. They do not hit him. I thought it was going to be a collision there. 1:46 left. Out of bounds. Gains 6. Herbert's like, thank fucking God. He could have smashed him. 1:46 left. 19-16 Philly, 2nd and 3. Let's call it. Here comes a blitz off the corner. They run to the other side. Vidal, first down out past midfield to the 47. First down. First down, clock moving, 80 seconds left. Trips right. Herbert looks right. Fires right. Caught. Allen gets about 6. Clock moving, 1:12 left. Come on. Play fake. Go for the fucking home run. Put this thing on Chargers 4. Let Digger, the kicker, make the extra point to get the cash for old dad. 2 to each side. Shotgun. Back offset to the right. Throws it over everybody's head. Out of bounds. 3rd and 4. Not his best effort. Receiver was open. Gadsden, I think. Would have been about a 7-yard gain to get out of bounds for the first down. That actually, the more I just watched the replay, that's a horrible pass. Just flat out airmailed him. At the 42, they're at the edge of Dicker's range. Herbert back, looking, running. He's got it. The spot's going to have to be good enough, but I think it is. Clock will move. 45 seconds and running. First down, Chargers. Clock moving down by 3. They may review this. Nope. Okay, the clock's moving. Still 30 seconds left. They're set now, finally. Here's a draw. No, he keeps it. Herbert fake. Keeps it out to the 28. Maybe 9. Timeout. 21 seconds left. That will do it for their timeouts. There's a read option. Just kept it. I can't believe that the Eagles didn't think that he had a chance to keep that there. The guy runs like a fucking deer. I'm not even bothering looking at the live. They're not going to commercials, so it's impossible to get a market, and I can't recommend anything. And I'm already, enough investment in Chargers to begin with. It's just a big wash. They're trying to put the mush on Dicker. 99 of 101 in his career from less than 50. They're already inside of 50 now. It's funny because his range is only about 53 or 54. So once they get to his range, he's going to make it. But he doesn't have the strongest leg of all time. It's a fascinating dichotomy. 2nd and 1. They're out of timeouts. 21 seconds left at the 28. Trips left. Running back offset to the left. Play fake. Dropping back. He chucks one out of bounds. 15 seconds left. 3rd and 1. No timeouts, 15 seconds, 3rd and 1. At the 28, they are in Dicker's range. He's supposed to make it from here. I'm okay with taking a shot. I think they should take a shot. That's me. Of course, me easy, -3.5 to say that, but you only live once. Guy can make it from here. The throw is out to the outside and incomplete, and there's no taking shots. They're going to go right to the field goal. 12 seconds left. I'm not sure what Harbaugh's saying to him. He seems like he's yelling at him. Here comes Dicker the kicker. Here comes another fucking TV mush again. Highest in NFL history. Trying to fucking mush him. Incredible. 94%. Here we go. This from 46. Right hash. Snap. Down, up. Right down the fucking middle. Pipes it. 19 all. 8 seconds left. We are headed for overtime. Hang tight for the live prices. I'll give them to you as soon as we get there. Obviously, they'll have a coin toss, and then we'll determine after who gets the ball what the prices are and stuff. I'm so sick of these teams in these kind of games deferring or giving the other team the ball first just because they know they're going to get it once. I don't like that. It's a 10-minute overtime. What happens if they score a touchdown? Then you have to make a decision. Do you want to Ed's asking me, do you take the ball in overtime? And I said, yeah, no brainer. Need to maximize possessions, only 10 minutes. If they played all night, maybe defer if you have the 2002 Ravens defense. I had this fight with Sherman and Ed back at the Westgate 4 or 5 years ago. They used to always say, like, in overtime, it's better if you – remember, the rules were different until this year. It's just better if you defer. And my argument against that is, what if the other team goes down and scores a touchdown, you lose the game? Like, how the fuck is that a good idea? Now the rules are different. You can score a touchdown and still not have to win necessarily. The Broncos did it last week. They scored a touchdown against the Redskins, and then the Redskins came back and scored a touchdown, went for 2 and missed it. The whole point was it went almost all the way to the end of it, period. So if they would have kicked it, which, in this game they might. This might be a game where both teams are not, like, dissatisfied with a tie. Could be a touchdown and then another touchdown, and guess what? You're down to 1 minute left, and the other team gets the ball, and they only have a minute left. But because you defer, you only get the ball once. Like, I can't ever get behind the fact that if you don't win the toss, if you win the toss, you take the ball. That's my whole point. Eagles are favored. Pick them -a quarter, -30, give or take. That's the live price. Obviously, no total. Which is funny because of the way the rules are. You could actually deal a total in this overtime, and it wouldn't be you wouldn't be nobody's stealing anything. Back in the day, you used to know always a field goal would win it or a touchdown would win it, but usually a field goal, and that's it. Eagles win the toss. Eagles are going to kick it. So Philadelphia has won the toss and kicked. That was actually they handled it good this time. The last time there was an overtime that I was with you here on the SWEATBOX, they actually fucked up the coin toss and gave the Redskins the chance to kick it and pick the end zone. All right, here we go. 19-all. Clippers get the ball first. The good news is my -3.5 has life again because they have the ball first. I pride myself on being a very smart person when it comes to game theory, especially when it comes to coaching situational stuff in football. I have a friend of mine that's a high school coach back home. My dad was his assistant in high school back in the 80s. Well, before he was a head basketball coach, but he's also an assistant football coach and played college football at the D3 level. Back in the 70s. It's not like the same game now. Obviously, everything's different, but the thought processes behind everything, in my mind, are pretty simple. Like, if one of my friends is, obviously haven't had a job for the last 2.5 years or nothing that's on the books, besides the consultation stuff and betting, and he started coaching at our alma mater last year, and one of my other best friends is his assistant. And like if I came back, I'm sure I'd have a spot on the staff, but my job would be simple. Like, they have coordinators, and he's the head coach, and whatever. I mean, my job is simple. Give me special teams and or give me clock. Like, just give me the game management job. That's simple. And like for me, like I know my way around managing a football game as good as anybody that I think maybe I've ever met or close to it. Kevin Kelly, who was the high school coach in Arkansas that always onside kicks and does everything optimally right, game theory, coached a bunch of state championship teams in Arkansas at a Catholic school at the smallest level. And then he took the Presbyterian job and was completely overwhelmed there. But I think it's just because it's the job wasn't for him. Like, it's not college recruiting at the 1AA level, and that conference wasn't for him. and I hope that he's landed on his feet. I'm not sure what he's doing with his life, but he's a very smart coach and does a lot of the wise things. Has all these exotic onside kicks. I mean, it's fun to watch. I mean, they super aggressive, never punt, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, all this stuff, all I'm saying about all this stuff is setting it up to tell you that, like, my management skills in my mind are pretty good, and I do not agree with these teams now winning these coin tosses and kicking in overtime in the NFL. I don't understand it. If the games are only 10 minutes long, which they are, why would you willingly give the ball to the other team first if there's only 10 minutes? If it's indefinite, or if it's 20 minutes, or if it's 42 minutes, fine. If it's 15, it becomes close. I don't know. It becomes tough. Herbert ran the first play by himself for about 12, and now Hampton gets out past midfield, which, of course, the Eagles have to know when as I said earlier, when he's in the game, they just ran the ball with just one back, and he got it. When he's in the game, they're not throwing the ball. He can't block anybody. So, yeah, big personnel. They outmanned him up front. Just bigger than them, and he's a monster. He has 12 for 54. That was one of his better carries of the night. They're down to the 40 now, so that was about an 18-yard carry. They give it to Vidal this time. He slams in the middle, gets about 2. They're very close to the outskirts of Dicker's range, but the whole point is, I guess where I was going. Yeah, I guess where I was going with this, and I'm talking to Ed about it. He asked me what I thought. And again, we had this discussion at the Westgate when I was there 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was just like, if you had the 2002 Ravens defense, maybe you defer. But in a 10-minute possession, no, you take the ball, maximize possessions. And he says, yes, everybody kicks. I said, that's stupid. I can't get behind it, even in a game like tonight where both defenses are better than the offenses. And he says you get the advantage of going for it on 4th down. I understand that. I think that's probably what the game theory play is. I don't care. Like, in my mind, the Chargers should have a chance. If they want to go for it, they can too. But he's saying, I understand what he's saying. He's saying, like, the pressure, you put the onus on the other team. But it kind of is in the same boat as if you're down by 14, you score a touchdown, the math says go for 2. And Cleveland did it yesterday, and they got crucified by some people online. Most of them were 70 IQ, retard opinions, but because it's the right play. I mean, I don't care, especially when you have somebody like Sanders as your quarterback who ain't no good. You definitely want to go for 2 and try to maximize your chances to win it with 8 and then 7. Herbert, 3rd and 7, rolls, and they're going to get him. He got a couple, and it's not a career long for Herbert or for Dicker, but it's going to be a bomb. 4th and 6, great play. Smith makes the play, 3 for Philly. That's just a great play. They had him blocked, and he got away from it. If that's the one guy he needed to beat to get the first down. Fuck. This will be right at the very precipice of Dicker's distance. 20 of 26 in his career from 54, right down the fucking cock. Right down the dick. Dicker the kicker. 22-19. 6:24 left. Chargers have taken the lead. 6:24. Oh, a commercial. Holy shit. We might have a live price. Let's see what they come with. Of course, it can only be a money line, no point spread at this point. Yeah, hang on. It could be. I hadn't thought of that. Chargers 37, Chargers 34. Come back 14 and come back 14 to both. Pinnacle, what a bunch of Jews. 37, come back 14. I just texted Ed, 22-22 is absolutely in play. He said, sure is. Let's make it straight. As much as I joke about rooting for ties, I would definitely be rooting for it, balls out, rooting for a tie if I had no bet on the Chargers, but I do, unfortunately, and therefore I can't root for that. Let's see. I see Fanatics. This is funny. 65-25. Sure, good luck there. Score 55-20. Good luck there. MGM 50. Comeback 15. 35-cent line on a fucking end game. Okay, Caesars is fair. 40-20. That's a fair split and a good price. I think that's right. 40-20 on the Chargers is what I would book it. 45-10 at Bodog. What else? 40-20 at Chris, give or take. That's about the same. All right, that's it. So I'm going to leave that up on the line screen so that because no one's booking the total at this point or anything else. I don't think. That's 5 field goals for Dicker, the kicker, tonight. But that one was by far the most clutch given the situation. Well, I guess the one at the end of regulation was important. Here we go. Kickoff is back to the 3. Good one. Run out to the 31. Pretty good return. Eagles will start there. Yeah, 22-22 is live as shit. I'd lose 2 units. If I could just get a Hampton catch, that'd make all that up. Be fine. At the 31, Hurts will start. Trips left. Shotgun. Barkley, offset to the right. Motion right from Smith. Give to Barkley. Bangs his way through for about 4, maybe 5. Clock will move inside of 6 minutes. $19 for $122. This is a bunch formation here. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley is offset to his left. Smith back in motion to the left as well. Play clock down inside of 5. Fake. Hurts. Fires. Incomplete. Over Brown's head. He was open. 3rd and 6. The Eagles have had great concepts and designs on these first 2 plays, and they somehow only got 4 yards out of it. There was a cutback for Barkley on the first play. Aikman showed the all-22 angle where Smith was out there blocking for him, and he had nobody there and a blocker, and two defensive players were way far out of the play. Hurts' throw came way too late there. .529 left, 3rd and 6 at the 35. Philly now gun, 2 receivers to each side. Barkley offset to the left in the gun. He rolls. He's running. He keeps it. He's got it. He's still running. There is a flag. It's going to come back. Holding 51. 3rd and 16. Mack is the one that got held. There were 2 holds. They got one of them. Troy, that's the correct answer. 3rd and 16. Clock continues to move. It'll go under 5 minutes on the snap here. Play clock down inside of 5. Both teams have 2 timeouts in the overtime. 2 to each side. Gun. Barkley off to the left. It's a slant over the middle. It's caught. 1st down. Smith into San Diego territory. Jesus fucking Christ. 3rd and 16, he gets 27. I can't believe they didn't call timeout. Their play clock was down to nothing. That's a good throw. Yeah, well, just good execution. Give them credit. They did what they had to do there. Clock will continue to move. Both teams, again, in overtime, you get 2 timeouts. 4:17 left, clock moving. Smith 4 for 37 tonight in his 8 targets. The ball is at the 47. The give is to Barkley. He gets nothing. Maybe back to the line. Maybe he loses a yard. Clock goes inside of 4 minutes down. The chances of a tie, what will have to happen is that Philly will have to get down like really close and then take a penalty and have like fourth and forever in field goal range, and then they'll kick a field goal. Other than that, they're going to try to win the game. That's just usually the way it is. Nobody wants to play for a tie. A tie would do them a lot of good tonight, I'll be honest with you, given their position in the division. Hurts gets hit, fires complete to Goddard, right at the precipice of field goal range. I love using that word. 3:28 left. It'll be 3rd and maybe 4. He got hit when he threw it. It's a pretty good job to hang in there. And 98 got him, smashed him. All right. LA beats Utah in the hockey 4-2. The Malinsky special gets there for those who followed. Dave Ross rooting for the tie. My guy Dave in White House, Tennessee. Here comes the blitz. He chucks it to Brown, incomplete. Man, that was literally one of those throw it as high as you can. Now what? 4th and 4. It's a bomb of a field goal. They're going to go for it. It's about as good as you can throw it given the situation of the whole world coming at him. Brown tried to catch it with one hand. Couldn't get it out of there. Here we go, 4th and 4. It all comes down to this. At the 43, 3:23 left. Play clock down to 3. They're going to call a timeout. Chargers call a timeout. I actually like that. It lets Philly think about, well, if we don't get this, we lose the game. Maybe we should kick the field goal. But, it's so far. We're talking 58, 59 yards for Elliott, who's like I said, he's one of the worst 5 or 6 kickers in the league at this point. In no world can you let him kick a field goal here. And if you do, even with the 2 timeouts left, you're probably not going to get the ball back. So you can't win the game if you don't go for it. But you can lose it. Elliott's got the range. Aikman just said he's good from 61 if he wants to kick it, but they're not interested in that. Trips left, empty backfield. 2 to the right. Hurts by himself in the gun. 4th and 4, 3:23 left. Motion left. Oh, we got a motion. We got illegal. We got a 68 false started. Holy shit, you got to be fucking me. .98 with a neutral zone infraction. That's terrible. I hate that. I hate that rule. I hate that call. Somebody did that shit yesterday, and they called the offense for the penalty. Said that you reacted, but it was too late, and it was a false start. 3:23 left. Philly has a first down at the 37. Clock is stopped. Gun, 2 to each side. Barkley backfield left. Throw to the right. Caught. Goddard. Gain of about 3, maybe 4. Clock will move inside of 3 minutes before the next snap. Next week, fascinating situations for both teams. Any of these, you'll see money against Philly and San Diego next week with the overtime game like this. They'll bet against them because it's a short week and it's a 70-minute game and not a 60-minute game. Lots of car crashes on both sides of the ball. Philly is at home against the Raiders, and the Chargers are in Kansas City. Catch by Goddard, first down inside the 20. 2:35 left, first down Philly. Goddard's has been completely great. He's been just dominant. Really. Hart, no chance. Hurts, fires. Intercepted! And he gets tackled by his own guy to make sure he goes down, and that's it. 22-19 is your final score. It was deflected. Not a good throw. He rolled right. He had a man open, it looked like. I'll have to see the replay. But that's it. Chargers win it by 3. 22-19. They go to 9-4. Philly is 8-5. Total stays under most of the numbers. 42 is what it closed at most spots. So Chargers get the money, and it stays under almost all the totals. Not by a lot. Have to see the replay when they show it again. Five turnovers. Play fake, so it's a read option. Yeah, deflected. A horrible decision. They got way too greedy there. Yeah, that's it. Well, nothing else to do. It's my weekend. I'll be back with you on Thursday night. This is the Sweatbox. I am Rex Byers, your host. Chargers 22, Philadelphia 19. Chargers get the money. Under the total in the final. You get a little bit of cash back on the Chargers pick 'em. Lose the 3.5 flat better live. That's okay. Fun game. Enjoyed the time. Enjoyed the effort. Thanks for hanging out with me. Feel free to chat me going forward. Look forward to seeing you next this Thursday. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Bucks 4, 44.5 in Tampa. Let's hope the field looks a little better tomorrow. I have no opinion so far. I'll let you know on Thursday what we end up doing before the kickoff. Game starts at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific. I'll be on at the top of the hour. We'll go over everything from there. Look forward to seeing you then. Be well. Good luck. God bless. Take care. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Rex Byers, your host on YouTube TV and Twitch TV on the Sweatbox.